awaken the power held inside of me. Harness resilience through the pain. I'm a warrior.
Self-bio, sleep on checkmate. Are you kidding? Marco to the rescue. The blade comes out and he shuts it all down in one fell swoop. Absolutely stomping. Oh, what is that? I haven't even gotten to the bridge. Backbone.
Warrior, I'm a hurricane like Gloria. I won't fail my times now. Rise of glory, won't back down. I take the pain and I let it out. On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate. Oh,
Rampage through the side room. Everybody, massive for Bernard. Catches everybody else.
I'm a warrior.
Gonna look to make it happen, and there it is. Proper. Cannot be stopped.
On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate.
Good evening, Overwatch League fans. It is time for the playoffs here on the Apex side of the world. I'm Achilles, here with Avril, and we will be guiding you through a wonderful evening of matches. And yeah, while he might not have been able to hear me, Avril, welcome. It's exciting times. It's okay because the audience heard me.
That's the important part. Like I work with what I got here.
There we go.
You know, if I can't hear play-by-play tonight, I'll just figure it out and just, I can see what's going on the screen. I'll try to just analyze on my own. But look, we're here. We're back. We're fully into it. First day of postseason. Play-ins for APAC here in the Eastern Division. I finally returned to you inside your loving arms for Chengdu versus Charge here. Winner takes on Hangzhou. Final three teams. Winner gets to go to playoffs. What a prize.
Yep, Chengdu versus Guangzhou, a matchup that, I'm not really sure which way to cut it, because both of these teams could drop the spaghetti. Both of them could look absolutely incredible. We'll take a look at the bracket and see just exactly how we got here. And then, of course, if we have Guangzhou win this one, then they go on to face Hangzhou yet again, which we did just see last week, and it mentally boomed the ever-loving hell out of myself and Trick.
Oh, you don't like the Joedown? You don't enjoy the Joedown? What's going on?
I'm usually down for a showdown, but this it was something different. You missed a different beast
down to clown
last week. It was some of the most pasta on the floor. The Italians around the world were crying after over all of the lost spaghetti. But
dear.
First we have to start obviously with the Guangzhou Charge. They can't get to the showdown if they can't beat Chengdu Hunters, which is what they're going to be aiming to do. But surprisingly, given their victories last weekend, they do come into this as the higher seed. Chengdu Hunters currently in that 6th place, the bottom spot for the play-ins.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's their record this year has just unfortunately not been as good as the other teams, and that's surprising because Charge started out so much slower than Chengdu. You have to remember, in the first two stages, Charge had like a combined 1 match win. It's really from the addition of all these new players from Ultra Prime that they started getting good. Chengdu had a much better start. We were even at a stage where I think it was mid-season we were thinking, oh man, Charge could really get into mid-season madness here. And then Philadelphia with their extra points from Kickoff Clash kind of yoinked that one away. And now looking back 2020, kind of deserved because Philly ended up making it the furthest over to all the Eastern teams. Since then, though, I feel like Chengdu have been up and down. And we can describe a lot of teams that kind of way. Certainly Hangzhou have very high highs, some low lows this season as well. I'm a little bit worried for the Charge overall as we head into today's matches and towards the real business end of the season in this postseason play-ins matchup, given that we are in a very heavy off-tank meta. You can already see in the starting lineup that Gaga's not going to be starting out. It's going to be Daisy. They're most likely going to be playing that Diva double flex support lineup again. And I'm a little bit worried because Daisy, to me, is maybe still the pressure point of this team, being a player that's been mostly benched this season. He doesn't quite have the quality that Piggy does. That's going to be a position for Guangzhou to really exploit.
I mean, we kind of saw a bit of that last weekend. We saw Daisy, a hell of a lot of him. Gaga came in for a map. They were able to pick that one up, but then Daisy comes straight back in, and then from there, the Chengdu Hunters continued to flounder. So Daisy needs to have a strong performance. His debut was good. His past appearances for the squad when he has been subbed in have been good at times, but as of late, it just seems like the entire team is not finding that cohesion that we know they can get with Daisy in the lineup. But maybe with that extra little week coming into the play-ins, that extra pressure being applied as well, maybe that's enough to really light that fire under their rears to help get them across the line. Their first opponent is the Guangzhou Charge. We'll see if they are up to test, because like you said, Piggy, big front line that they have to get through. This guy has been a monster. He has been a big reason why Guangzhou Charge are in this position right now. But the whole rest of the team has also leveled up around Piggy's presence. Xerneas absolutely went crazy last week, picked up a player of the match for himself, fragging out of control on that Zenyatta, whereas Jimmy and Choice have also just had a very strong season.
And we have to kind of rewind a little bit to history here as well. The last time these two teams played, Chengdu did win. It was a 3-2 victory. I'll sort of paint a picture in your mind about how that happened. If you remember Oasis Gardens, Leave got one of the most disgustingly good pulse bomb sticks, which actually Ajax Xerneas beat. That's how they won that map in the final 5th map of that series, right? You remember. Very close affair. Here's another thing to consider. That was the first day, I believe, the first weekend, not the first day, the first weekend of having Piggy on the roster. I mean, this is still a Guangzhou Charge team trying to find their way, replacing Krong, new member on. Jimmy, I think, was still playing Soldier back then. Now he's almost exclusively on the Sombra. I want to say that Charge have been making strides since that very early loss to Chengdu all the way in week 1 of Countdown Cup, and I'd be a little bit concerned because I don't know if Chengdu have made the same improvements in that same amount of time. So despite Chengdu beating Guangzhou earlier, Guangzhou seemed like the stronger team now. And you're fully right, man. Like Chengdu, they got to be the team to start out. I'm going to start things out onto Busan. Loser picks the next map.
Alrighty, well, we'll see what happens. And, this is a 1st to 3. A best of 5 to go ahead and decide it all. See who is going to be able to come out on top. I mean, there you go. Already the stats echoing the sentiments that you've already laid out here for us, Avril. The Chengdu Hunters, if they want to walk away with a win, in all likelihood, it's going to have to be a hell of a lot cleaner than the one we saw last time because Guangzhou Charge have leveled up. There's the TPs forward. As okay.
A lot of
there's 3 Jimmies, but now, yeah, we're good to go. I think it actually just represents
three
now
Jimmies.
the teleporter.
Look, I can only handle one.
It tells you who owns the teleporter.
Custer can only handle one Jimmy. Let's not get him too excited with 3 out here, but he is going to be starting out on the Sojin first and foremost. There's a little bit of a different look from the Guangzhou Charge. Already the first blood found. Showing that Genji as well.
Just wrapping around the flank. Chengdu Hunters looking to retreat. Nisha speed boosting everybody out. Looks like they will be able to escape. Immortality Field has to be used, so they put that on cooldown. Guangzhou Charge can now go ahead and snatch up the point first and foremost. As far as ults are concerned, fairly close across the board between all of the roles. Piggy getting a little bit further ahead now. Mortality Field going to be forced down. They clean that one up. Piggy still down below half HP, but he's also high energy, so needs to be feared. Takes up to 100, but Daisy turns his sights over to the flank. That's Choi Se-Wan not taking out of the fight, but Jimmy with another rail now finds Jinmu. Takes down the Tracer, the back line, a little bit safer here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge as they get ready to take up above 20%.
Yeah, it's Jimmy with 2 frags so far in the opening 20% that we have here for the Charge. Piggy going down to very low HP, Monk pulling through the window first. Can he find some value here, keeping at least teammates alive? I don't know if they can really get presence on point though. Daisy low, dead.
Yeah, Jimmy again finds the headshot, takes him down, gets a follow-up on the Nisha. Quick on the right clicks, Jimmy coming up huge. Drops down, gets straight in on top of Lee, who's trying to slide his way out to safety, but Choi Se-Wan hounds him down. And it's a fairly clean victory here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, winning out the fight. Now getting ready to crest 50%.
I mean, Choi and Piggy just finally got on the scoreboard, but before then, it was 4 straight frags in a row coming through from Jimmy. 24% leading above Leave currently in terms of the Charge for the overclock. And Charge have plenty of ultimates in spades here as well, 60% on the actual cap itself. Grab coming out from Piggy.
Grab. Chucked in, Daisy low, stays alive. Immortality Field helps with that one, but now it's going to be the sound barrier on the back end for the Guangzhou Charge. Nisha not quite there to have his own, now has it available, but Daisy's already taken down. Still pulls the trigger on this one, however. They managed to find a kill on Xerneas. Now Piggy going to fall.
Blade
really starting to come online. Comes up with 2 for himself. Needs a little bit more. Get them over to the point. 80% now established for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but with Faraway falling, that should be them rotating over, being able to get the lockdown. They need to
going to come through here. Yeah, I mean, they are going to definitely be able to touch at this point. Charge, they're out of here. And Choi, unfortunately, couldn't get anything done with the blade. This is where I actually think the Tracer maybe is a little bit more useful. Really hard to pocket your Genji, really hard to support your Genji. Leave now coming through with the overclock and subsequent fight. A lot of low HP members on the Charge, but no one getting cleaned up.
All right, 98% here for Guangzhou as Chengdu take control. Need to have a very firm hold. And Matrix is about to be online from Monk and Faraway. Be the only things that we have for a little bit of time, but Lead gets taken down. Choice One dashing through, manages to find that elimination. Jimmy under a little bit of fire here as Piggy just tries to stave off Dicey. He will be able to do so, gets the kills, and there is the cleanup. Jinmu, the last man standing as the flip comes in. Overtime will be forced out, but Jinmu cannot delay. He is cleaned up, and it's 122% to begin. Guangzhou Charge looking fierce in the first round of Busan.
It's just so much of an extra lead for Charge right out the gates, right? We got 4 straight kills in a row coming through from Jimmy. Jinmu's been sent to the death. He's been sent to the respawn room multiple times there. Chengdu Hunters that were behind are all relevant ultimates. Piggy was a further ahead on the grab. Xerneas had the actual sound barrier. Now, thankfully for the Hunters, Dicey doesn't die to Piggy's grab. And so Nisha gets to pop the sound barrier a little bit later than that. But ultimately, we look at the Charge. The exact kind of strong start we expected as the team that on paper seems to be stronger in the meta currently, seem to be stronger just generally on the eye test compared to where Hunters have been. Now, we haven't got into the Diva portion of the sort of matchup just yet. Currently sticking towards the Zaryas. Dicey get much more done here because you have to remember for the Hunters, this is Dicey's best hero. If there's one here that he should carry on, has to be the Zarya.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned the Diva earlier, but this is what we want to see from Dicey. Choice One instantly beamed down, and that's a good reason why. Rail shot from Jim does manage to answer back. They find Dicey. It's going to give Piggy a lot more breathing room. The bubble's now taken away from the Chengdu Hunters, so they cannot play this as aggressively as they would like. Jinmu so manages to find one. Lee picks up one for himself as well as Jimmy gets headshot by the rail. Get a little bit of extra damage through. Xerneas struggling to try to make his way out of here. Looks like he will barely be able to survive. That will give Chengdu Hunters maybe first grab of the point, but Choice One comes straight back in. Manages to take down Nisha. Piggy in the meantime, he's just been hugging the corner, getting the cap rolling through for the side of the Charge. Xerneas, however, taken out.
They have the touch there currently. Hunters should be able to stop that one, not quite. So Charge, despite losing multiple members, they actually still get the first cap. That's a little bit annoying for the Hunters. And dare I say it now, Hunters trying to get foot on there, but Charge of the respawn, so they can't even use a couple of frags that Hunters got. That's really disappointing. The real small silver lining here is that Monk does actually lead quite considerably in the amplification matrix. They'll be able to force a point with that.
Can try to shovel back. Of course, the barriers can come up, block some of those line of sights and deny a decent amount of value. Jump up over the top here from Lee. Finds Choice One. Couple shots into his head, but not enough to kill. Now, Window going to be coming through. Xerneas goes up with the sound barrier, drops it in instantly. Piggy, however, going to be taken down. Jimmy answers back. Monk now out of the fight. Far away under fire, keeping himself alive with the immortality field. And it seems like he is going to stay alive because Choice One is just carving things up. Leave Nisha taken down. Jimmy does answer back a couple of eliminations here. But Choice One is hot on his heels, just trying to get the finishing blow with the dash through and a little help from far away. They will be able to have it. Guangzhou Charge maintain control of the point, now at 50%.
And the timing of that death on Jinmu as well is staggering because Chengdu, they get the rest of their 4 members back alive after losing a fight. So that's almost like a maximum stagger time from the Guangzhou Charge POV. Piggy, by the way, diving to the backline through the window. That's what you want. He sacrifices his life, but they win the fight off him.
Windows out, Blade comes through. Nisha now going to be dropping the sound barrier. The grab as well was used from Piggy. Not going to find anything, just forces the immortality field to beat thus far. No kills on either side. Piggy under a bit of pressure here on the high ground. Now the grab invested from Dicey. Mortality field immediately dealt with by Jinmu. Piggy taken down. Xerneas out of there with a sliver of HP, and Dicey does manage to find him at the very end. The Chengdu Hunters, once more, not going down without a fight. Will get a taste of percentage. How much of it, we'll have to just wait and see.
You have to remember as well, when you go back to the start of this mecha base as well, Chengdu Hunters kind of had a soft victory in that opening neutral, but they never got the cap right, so they're significantly behind 0 to 83 start. Had they managed to get that cap early, we'd probably be looking at more like a 30 to 40, 50 on the Charge side kind of situation, a lot more even. Hunters have a bit more of a hill to climb now. That's an overclock pop by Jimmy.
Gets the tag on the Nisha. Choice One's there for the alley-oop. Xerneas, I'm not even sure quite how he gets the kill on the lead, but it's just shades of last round as Jinmu quick resets down off the map. Yeah, just going for the Olympic gold. The form was good. I give it a 10, but unfortunately, Guangzhou Charge are looking like they're going to take this.
Well, it looks like you give them a 10 for the dive, it may be a 0 for the points on to Busan. It's already final fight territory of a Charge. You have Monk back on towards a window. And Charge, they've just got to stay alive, and we're looking towards beat for Xerneas. The touch has been initiated.
And Matrix here onto the high ground. Piggy breaking line of sight, pops the bubbles now, is going to be out of the immortality field, has to be used to keep him alive. Answering immortality field down from Monk. Try to keep the team in the fight, and they just don't step back onto it. It feels like nothing's really changed from last week. It just, whoever goes up against the Guangzhou Charge just forgets about the point. They keep you so preoccupied. It's just, yeah,
I mean,
a terrifying
Piggy-
amount of pressure.
Look at Piggy intimidation score 100. He's just so scary.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of the fable. In this fairy tale, Piggy's the one actually blowing down houses. That's how we work this thing out. No, but what we see there as well towards the end is Xerneas nearly has a sound barrier. So the game plan for the Guangzhou Charge there: survive against Monk's amplification matrix, wait the 5 seconds, have Xerneas build that sound barrier up, and then play the final 5v5 in an actual sound barrier to nothing sort of situation. Guangzhou kept all their members alive. Piggy went down to 1, but never actually died there. So Guangzhou set themselves up for victory. Had Chengdu touched, I think would have still been very, very favored for Guangzhou anyway.
Well, that is a 2-0 start here from the Guangzhou Charge on Busan. Picking up our control map now. We'll see where the Chengdu Hunters decide to take us, as they do have map select moving forward. We'll see what it's going to be as we get ready to go into hybrid. But Guangzhou Charge right now looking fierce, exerting an immense amount of pressure the Chengdu Hunters need to be able to deal with if they want to walk away from this series victorious and then get ready to play against the Hangzhou Spark later this evening. That's map 1 out of the way. Map 2 coming up in just a few, so don't go anywhere. are back and getting ready to go into our second map here in our first play-in matchup. It's the Guangzhou Charge who are able to draw first blood over the Chengdu Hunters on Busan. It looks like as we get ready to go into hybrid, it's going to be some good old classic familiar territory for everybody to enjoy. Kings Row coming up next.
Yeah, and so far I think results are as expected, right? Guangzhou Charge start out very strong, 2-0, including very large percentage leads on both of our, rounds there on Busan. Hunters struggling to get any sort of feet on at all, and no, I'm not just referring to the C9 here, I just mean in general. So as we move over towards Kings Row, which is going to be map number 2 and also Hunter's pick, I think we're looking at another strong Zarya type map. Obviously that's not going to be a weakness for the Guangzhou Charge. I think with Chengdu though, sticking to more Zarya maps is going to be better for Daisy at least. It's going to be the one matchup where he can certainly going to feel a lot more comfortable. And having something where, I guess, Jimmu has the capability to play the Genji. I'd like to see him potentially look at that again. Tracer is going to get locked in. I mean, at this point, the only other possible look for the Hunters is to play the sort of Diva double flex with Leave on the Tracer and Jimmu on the Sombra. That's another particular look where Daisy might get onto a worse hero, but then Leave and Jimmu arguably get onto a better hero. I don't know. There's one more other look for Chengdu, but for now, we're going to stick to Zarya maps, see if Daisy can get it done versus Piggy on Kings Row instead.
Will be Chengdu Hunters first in the defense here. We'll see if they can have a strong one. You can see Choice Seiwan thinking about going for that early little pick-off potential with the Widowmaker.
4, 3, 2,
No reason not. We'll see if he profits from it at all. No, actually, he's not going to go for it. Just goes right out the gate. Doesn't even want to waste the 3 seconds it takes to take the shot and swap.
We do need to talk about the change up in the support lineup here as well in terms of composition. It's going to be the Brig Ana instead of the Lucio Bat.
Okay.
Already one of the, well, that's going to be the Brig gone. So 5v4 here is charged. They're going to start walking on forward. Lucio speed
And
boost
Monk's
up,
under fire.
keep Piggy alive. Yeah,
he's just completely surrounded. There's no peel for him. Daisy's down to the low ground. Everybody's trying to fight here in the hallway. It's looking like an old boy, but it's Guangzhou Charge. Just beating the ever-loving hell out of everybody else. And that's a cap on A.
Choi gets both. Choi got both Nisha and Monk just like that. Boom, out the gates. Double support kills. 0 that Hunters can do about that. I don't know if Daisy was in position to drop some bubbles on his teammates. That probably would have helped out at least. But complete 0 effort there from Charge. They walk onto point, they cap, and now we're on B.
That we are. We'll charge up on the rail. Just Jimmy waiting for his moment here to go ahead and send it out. Spots Leave. Sees Nisha. Shield comes down, but the shot's going to whiff. Doesn't find the opening kill. Chengdu Hunters now in a position where they could potentially hold the archway. You can see Guangzhou Charge playing with their time a little bit here, trying to get into position. Jimmy actually gets found trying to wrap around on the flank.
This is where you start looking towards the support ultimates, right? Farway has window coming online, Monk has a nano coming online, Farway needs to kind of drop ASAP. This will allow Charge to break through this archway, and Hunters can't respond until Monk pulls trigger.
Well, he uses it, and, well, Jimmy manages to make good use of it very quickly thereafter. Gets the rail shot across. Leaf goes down. 3 members cleaned up. Nisha going to fall as well. Jimmy on the Tracer may be able to survive, but no, Jimmy manages to find him, hounds him down, gets the melee swinging.
It's just like clockwork at the moment in terms of, you look at the flow chart of what Charge need to do. They know where they're head. The real silver lining here for the Hunters is that Daisy's actually kept up with Piggy. In fact, he's a few % ahead in Piggy despite losing. You'll give that to the Hunters. That's maybe something that Piggy and the Charge are not going to be as prepared for. With the Nano still online, I mean, there's good opportunity here for the Hunters to get something done with that. Charge still waiting for a couple of other ultimates, but with the amount of free push, we're already looking at last fight on B.
Daisy, of course, having his energy reset. Piggy, of course, not really working with too much as well. Had decayed down a decent chunk, so Daisy at least does have that going for him. Overclock to get popped. That's Jimmy. Grab comes in, catches 3 on the high ground.
They can't do anything with Grab
from that one. Yeah, they can't do anything off the back end, and now Piggy's just holding on to one of his own. Farway loses out on that immortality field. Gets taken a little bit low. Sound barriers there from Xerneas to keep everybody protected. Headshot across. And that is just going to be Nisha taken down. Sleepguard does connect on the choice they want in the back lines. They will find the kill onto the Genji, shut down the rest of the blade. But now Daisy is gone. The grab comes in, catches Leave, and there's only so much that Monk can do, just consistently pumping those left clicks forward. But the pressure eventually gets him. Monk rotating around the flank. It's just inevitable that he gets cleaned up. But of course, it's going to be Xerneas who finds the killing blow as a Lucio. Jinmu continues to delay, buying as many precious seconds off this time back as he possibly can, but it's still going to be 4 minutes and 47 as they get ready to start pushing into the final stretch. And there's some extra staggers being found.
Look at that. Yeah, that's got to be costly for Hunters. It means they just can't reset, so more free push for the charge coming on through. I think it's very interesting as well when you look at the grab exchange, who pulls trigger early and who holds. Piggy, he felt no pressure to actually pull the grab through early. When Daisy grabs the back line of the charge on that sort of upper high ground, there was no follow-up there. No one could actually dive on in. Jinmu wasn't on a Genji. There was no rail follow-up from Leave either. No Monk Bionade, nothing there. No damage output on top of that backline grab at all. Then Piggy just gets a better grab and destroys Leave during his overclock. Window online now for the Guangzhou Charge, and this just allows him to continually push through into the final corner, the final stretch. Still 4 minutes left, by the way, Achilles. They could get a monstrous time back.
Yeah, just an actual zoning ult there. Used quite nicely from the side of the Guangzhou Charge. The cart just a few meters away.
Waiting for Monk again.
Complete the map. Yeah, Monk, Nano, 15% off. The grabs as well, getting ready to come online. Nisha needs to be able to have a transcendence for that one. Otherwise, they're going to get ripped apart. Bubble forward, Piggy still 100 energy. Nisha taken down. Is not even given the opportunity. Monk now dead. Nano did go out. It goes over to Jinmu. Doesn't have a blade to couple in with this one. Gets a little bit of damage down onto Piggy, but it's not going to be nearly good enough. Grab goes out from Piggy. Looks like he's trying to maybe intercept some reinforcements here to touch the cart, but instead doesn't manage to catch anybody. Overclock going to be popped. Jimmy immediately shut down. Great headshot there from Leave. Does alleviate the pressure. And that was a bit of a hero play from Jimmy that quickly gets snuffed out.
I gotta say, that was maybe the first mistake come out from Charge. They were winning that fight. They got double backline, right? Nisha dies straight away. The timing of the Charge push when Hunter's ultimates were coming up could not have been more perfect because you have a situation where Hunters want to ult, but now they're down one member. Monk gets the Nano up, but he dies as well. Charge should have won that 5v3, but Piggy whiffs the grab, doesn't catch Leave. You gotta get Leave or Jinmu or one of the DPSs in that grab, and then I think Charge actually secure it. Now you have a bit of a flip of momentum. Hunters defend, and they're 4 ultimates. They can actually defend quite well now and maybe hold the map.
Yeah, definitely a puzzling one. Giving him the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe it's a zoning grab, stop that right flank from having access to the card, but they don't win the fight out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He's intimidating, but no, not that intimidating. You know, I think that was a little bit much.
Well, 3 ultimate to be online for the Guangzhou Charge. Choice one nearly there with the blade. Grab first out.
Okay.
Center of the map. Sardius finds him. Transcendence is popped. He's keeping everybody alive. The grab dies. He doesn't find anything, and they don't touch the card to keep it contested.
Oh. Wow. You know what? I thought Hunters were going to hold. I thought Hunters were going to hold. Silly me, huh? Silly me. I really thought they were going to hold. They have the respawn advantage. They have the ult advantage. Well, the only thing they didn't have was Jinmu off the map. Maybe, well, definitely after this match, we're not going to get confused between Jimmy and Jinmu anymore. That will be settled once and for all. But a defense that was starting to look like it was shifting towards Hunter's favor rapidly goes between their fingers once again, and the Charge secure themselves a 2-12 time back now. That is still Breezel. Let's take a look. Yeah, it was just a good boop. Just a fantastic boop, wasn't it? Oh, and then Jinmu whips the dash.
And then he botches the dash.
Yeah,
he was still deflecting.
Here's the thing, though. I wasn't watching. I don't know if you paid attention to the cooldowns. Did he have the cooldowns mid-deflect, or did he only get it late? Because you can just cancel the deflect with your dash and... Yeah, so he could have just canceled the deflect with the dash and lived. So that was a pretty wild mistake from Jinmu there. I suppose Piggy will whiff a grab, but then Jinmu will just do that, and then Chengdu don't touch again, and Guangzhou are like, all right, we'll take the 2-12. It's not 4 minutes, not 3 minutes, but 2-12. Reasonable.
Yeah, something tells me not going to be that upset about it. Not going to be that upset whatsoever. Well, now we get ready to carry on and see what the Chengdu Hunters can do on this attack. Like you said, it just felt like they should have been able to hold that at least for a bit longer. It seemed like they had it in their grasp, but Chengdu Hunters...
I expect the Hunters to drag that OT. They do. They really do. So look, the Chengdu zone,
they are the last
never
Jedi. They are the last Jedi of Overwatch League teams, just subverting expectations in the worst way possible. Dash around the flank, far away on some decent pressure. They do get the immortality field out a little bit early. Leave taken down. It's going to be an exchange of the Sojourn's Spark, which would say one falling. There's a big opening now for the Chengdu Hunters to be able to get themselves onto the point cap.
Really low HP there, but Hunter's still living at the moment. I think Charge can get this retake here. They'll give away at least one tick. They'll have 5 now. Ideally, Piggy and Choi get this touch in before the second tick, but yeah, it looks like they'll play this one patiently and safe. Okay, now here we go.
All right, going in for the recontest. Nade not going to be
Watch the nano,
connecting
by
on
the way.
anything. Dicey playing around, stuck into the corner right now. Xerneas gets in there, tries to pin him, and they get the kill. That's ahead of the nano, crucially here. Monk just 5% away from having that one available. Bubble goes out, Piggy now juiced up. Just continues to lob in the right clicks, and the Chengdu Hunters, they say, you know what? It's not even worth trying to stick around and fight this one out.
Yep.
Down our tank, they just full retreat.
And then, again, excellent timing by the Charge. They managed to get the retake in just before the nano boost is online from Monk. Crucially, they killed Daisy as well. That's the prime target. That would have been the exact person that Monk actually wants to give the nano to. So full reset now, and look, Hunters can play with his nano still, but look at the Charge ultimates. We're about to get grabbed. Window's now online.
Okay, goes over to Daisy. He does get energized rather quickly, meaning that everybody's got to be scared of him. The Immortality Field comes out. Window's there. Grab, lobbed in, gets the catch, and they will be able to take down Piggy. A couple casualties, however, on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. They lose out on their damage lineup. Sound Barrier now committed to the fight by Xerneas. He says, yeah, we can still win this if we can come up with a couple eliminations, and they do. The final 3 end up falling. Now it's just Jinmu and Leave alive. So Guangzhou Charge trying to buy some time here for Piggy to rejoin.
And Nisha on 98% as well. I mean, it's just unfortunate, right? He just doesn't... All of the Hunters at this stage, when you're sort of losing early fights like this, you're going to be behind an ultimate. We're now looking at the same Lucio BAP lineup on the backline as Charge have been playing this entire way through. I think Hunters should have started on that. I think the Brigandle has just been a little bit worse. Should missed that pulse bomb as well.
Not getting anything. Overclock now popped
Tempo
here from Jimmy. Mortality Field out, beat as you say from Nisha. Jimmy with the very last rail shot off the overclock takes out Monk. Choice A1 does get lost. Xerneas under some fire. Let's get some burst stealing out from far away, who does nearly have that next amp matrix available. Nate, the corner goes sliding around in style. Jimmy helps take down Daisy. Answering fire though from Leaf. Manages to find one, but they need so much more than that to continue to crack open this point.
Thanks for the help.
Choi coming back with
damage.
Blade. I mean, this is still really difficult. 1 minute left for the Hunters. They're going to get desperate. There's not a lot to play through here. They got to get into the frag here before Choice 1 can pull, but he's already back in the fight. It's a full 5v5 now. And once Choi has HP to work with, here we go. The Blade's in action.
Knows that Leave is low in the back line, gets on top and cleans up the Immortality Field to help him Xerneas. And it is 3 quick ones there from Choice A1 with the Blade. They are running right up in front of the spawn doors. The Guangzhou Charge have no fear.
My ultimate is charged.
The Hunters have no time either.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left now. We're looking at a grab at best. Piggy will be able to match as well. Xerneas, I suppose. I mean, if this gets dragged into the OT, which it will do, I'm looking towards that sound barrier coming on in. They have a grab, pulse bomb combo, the Big Bang Hunters. They need that and more to try and cap this, and then they sort of finish the map.
Yep. And even just trying to match the time bank of Guangzhou Charge. Pretty much impossible from here on out. Unless Guangzhou Charge basically AFK for the whole rest of this. Grab going to be lobbed in, gets a catch here onto the doorway. The bubble comes in, trying to keep it protected. Pulse bomb goes out, not going to find the kill here for Jinmu, but they still clean up 2. The cap
Piggy
does
like grab.
end up coming in. Yeah, very late there from Piggy.
Oh.
A desperate bit, a bit of a whoopsie from him. The second one of the map. Team kill comes through.
2 blunders from Piggy. That's crucially not very good from the Charge at all. I think they're probably still going to win this match, but that does leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, as have to work on that a little bit. Just a completely wasted grab. The cap came through anyway. Crucially, Charge lost Xerneas and far away in that fight. Xerneas died with sound barrier available, I believe, so that's really sad for the Guangzhou Charge, because they were actually in position to maybe survive against the Chengdu Hunters cap and hold on to the grab for the next fight, or, you know, if you are going to lose that, hold on to the grab for the next fight, which is coming up now. As we play through the window first. Not the greatest angle in the window, but Chengdu Hunters will respect it, respond with their own.
Immortality Field taken down, answering beat now from Nisha. Shields expiring on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. They pull back a bit. Keeping the cart at the corner. I mean, Xerneas sees I'm pulling back. He is just playing right up in front. Overclock is popped. Leave looking for a target. The one that he's really catching, though, is Piggy. It's certainly not going to be the ideal one to Piggy. He manages to get a catch on the Monk. Takes him down. Jimmy going to be eliminated as well, so a support for a damage, but now the tank eliminated. Chengdu Hunters continue to bleed out members.
There should be a hold here for the time being.
Yeah.
Reset on the Hunters' side. all the ultimates expended that we had here, which is realistically speaking just the support ones. And pay attention, by the way, Farway used an Ant Matrix in that fight. He's on 80% already. He's actually recharged 4/5 of his ultimate in the space of a single fight. So we're looking at another window here. Hunters are not prepared for this. They do have a grab. Now, depending on the timing of this, if the window comes down early, Daisy can sort of play around that and grab in front or behind that, but the counter grab is already there. Piggy's just play that one top of Daisy, force a reset.
There he has. Daisy immediately dealt with Immortality Field not early enough to try to save him, and I mean, they're not even retreating to the actual spawn rooms. They're trying to pull all the way back behind the bus, go to the initial start spot. As they just fish out, they want this extra kill on the Jinmu, and they will get it. Choi Se-won cleaning up the last few in the fight, now gets himself positioned directly above the Chengdu Hunters, spots them, retreats, dashes out, says, okay, you know what? I know that Dicey's got to grab. I don't want to get caught by myself and get blown up.
Farway needs the window almost immediately when the OT hits. When he knows that Hunter's about to push, he's got to play this window max range. And it's going to be very hard for Hunter to deal with that.
Grabbing the window, catches him. Big one there for the side of Daisy. 2 quick kills found. Piggy staying alive for a little bit longer here, doing their damnedest, but as the final bubble gets popped, it will end up dying. Choi Se-won just saving the blade, knows they can still get a chance at a follow-up fight. Chengdu Hunters now in overtime, need to go all the way to B, and even then, they're starting with 42 seconds less than what Guangzhou Charge finished with.
I maybe expected a little bit more help there from the Farway POV. I think Jimmy playing through the window as well would have been helpful, but that grab from Daisy does save the day for the Hunters, so another opportunity for the Chengdu Hunters as we sort of change momentum once again in terms of the ultimate charge rate. Hunters used to have a lot less in charge, now they have a lot more. Monk gets to play through his own window here. Really good opportunity to cap. And Charge, have to think about this. They have the tempo beat to even walk forward, I think.
Probably, but there's the blade gone now. Taken out of the equation very swiftly. Jimmy with a great headshot now. The aggressive beat comes in to go ahead and enable Choi Se-won to get in deep. Spots that Baptiste up in the air, gets Monk in the end, pops the deflect as well to stave off Leaf. Leaf still will get him in the end, but Jimmy finds Daisy, Leave dead. The cleanup comes through. The OT bleeds away, and the Guangzhou Charge will successfully defend in front of point B to move up 2-0 in this series. They are 1 map away from advancing forward to play against the Hangzhou Spark and end the Chengdu Hunters season right here, right now.
I mean, it's just looking masterful coming through from the Charge at the moment, right? They are looking like the next best team that has the highest chance of making it to playoffs, and they want everyone to know about it. They're writing it on the wall for Hunters and everyone else to see. And you look at this map where, okay, couple of blunders there coming from Piggy, a little bit of a whiff, but Charge, they never had the game slip out of control the entire way through. You could feel that they were in command of that game. They had the dynamic time bank going to see 4 minutes plus, spent a couple of extra attacks than they probably would have wanted to there. C9 from the Hunters, classic. But it doesn't even matter because we don't even go to C, right? C is not even a factor. We end the game on B. And Charge even nearly got a full hold on A as well. And that's the other thing to consider. Even if Hunters get to C, they don't have time to work through. So it was a really rough position from start to finish from the Hunters.
Wow. Staring down the barrel of yet another needed reverse sweep. The Chengdu Hunters are just 1 map away as we get ready to go into Escort from being eliminated out of the 2022 season. They need to run it back if they want to go up against the Hangzhou Spark in the next matchup, if they want a chance at the playoffs to try to make a run. Otherwise, we will be saying goodbye. We'll have to see what happens. We'll see, though, if the Guangzhou Charge can go ahead and finish this one off in incredibly clean fashion as we get ready to go into our Escort map. We'll also see what the Chengdu Hunters have elected to pick when we come back from the break. And welcome back. Chengdu Hunters now at risk, down 0-2 in this series. Need to pull off a reverse sweep over the Guangzhou Charge if they want to stay in the play-ins, if they want the opportunity to play against the Hangzhou Spark. Otherwise, we will be saying goodbye to them. We'll see what happens, though, as we do get ready to go into our third and potentially final map. But right now, the Guangzhou Charge, they have been winning out at pretty much every twist and turn.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like Charge are looking to even lose a map today. They want to just 3-0 this one. They want to clean it up. They want to send Chengdu out of here. Gaga's going to come in for Daisy. I mean, look, we are going to go to an escort map, something that might be slightly more Winston favored. This is the last sort of port to call for the Chengdu Hunters. Their last shot at maybe making a bit of a comeback run. It's going to have to be a reverse sweep. And I know I say this most times, you know, we look at the Charge versus the Chengdu Hunters, especially in the later half of the season. But this is like the revenge tour team because you have so many ex-Chengdu members here. Even in the starting lineup, 3 here, Xerneas, Farway, and Jimmy. The Predator on the bench probably won't even make a debut this season. I have no idea. And specifically when we look at Farway being dropped at the start of the season in favor for Monk, I want to bring out a stat line on Kings Row that's very staggering to me. Farway on average had an ult time earned 30 seconds faster than Monk. 30 seconds faster on the same role. And you'll actually remember there was that one critical fight where I brought it up as well. Fireway uses Ant Matrix, that window ultimate. In the same fight, he has 79-80% towards his next one already. Same fight. So that's where that extra gap comes from. It was a very large gap in terms of that position. I also don't think Chengdu ran a very good comp. Right, they wanted to play the Brig Ana version. Now, if you're bringing Ana into the mix, I really want to see Jinmu on that Genji, because then you'll provide extra nano targets. You actually can play a nano blade. Jinmu was playing Tracer at the start, right? So it just seemed like a bit of a mess. Like the Lucio BAP is a little bit safer for the Zarya, and Charge know who they're carrying through. They're actually going to play through Piggy as the main carry here. He did nearly 15k damage. It was 14,455, 38% of Charge's damage on King's Row. Xerneas so far away, pocketing the living hell out of Piggy on that. And still, Jimmy and Choi got a lot of work done, despite not really receiving that many resources compared to Piggy.
Well, let's now see what happens. We did see, I believe it was last week, versus the Fusion Chengdu Hunters. Gaga comes in for a map. They manage to win it. They swap it out. And then they end up losing the series 3-1. Does that happen here? Can they even get this win? I guess it's the first question. Because the pressure has been mounting, and it is probably very much getting ready to break down the walls around the Chengdu Hunters.
And this is a rough matchup for Gaga as well, because at any point if Charge wants to, the Reaper swap is available there. Already the Sombra makes things a little bit awkward, and we're getting towards that more dive-focused team comp, right? I kind of teased the Diva double flex support backline. We're seeing that now 3 maps deep in towards the series. The good news for the Hunters is they get to play Leaf Trace, they get to play Jinmu Sombra, things they're very comfortable on. They will be foregoing the extra flex support, though, so you're not going to see the Zenyatta coming in through. No Nisha Ana. It's going to be Monk Ana instead. And Charge, they've won a lot of maps. They won a lot of matches playing this exact lineup that they have currently.
All right, there's the hack. The dive coming through with Choice A1. Not going to have too much value here. It's actually just going to be the backline completely left to their own devices, and they just die. Picking out broken out of the mech, and that is a fantastic start for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Gaga says, okay, you want to dive my backline? They're fine. Yours is not. Xerneas and Faraway quickly get dealt with, and Choice A1 has a late death as well.
Yeah, I mean, what a cleanup. Just Gaga gets subbed in, 3 instant frags. Set up well by Jinmu as well, who I think got some assists in there. Obviously, he's the one scouting. He's the one hacking. He's going to be the one now early scouting once more. Piggy could do nothing about it. He was stuck on the low ground. I'm a little surprised that Piggy couldn't fly back to the backline to help, but maybe he was focused on attempting to support his own, you know, Sombra dive with Jimmy in the front. That did not go well for them. Charge, unfortunately, do lose out on that dive.
And that was straight up, you know, call an ambulance, but not for my back line. They get absolutely slaughtered. Xerneas again going to be taken down. The pulse bomb comes through. Answering kills going to be found, however. This does include Gaga. Nisha now going to be the lone support available for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but Piggy's going to be broken out of the mech. Choice A1's dead, and Jimmy is the only one standing, and he is still struggling to try to keep pace right now with Jinmu, who is about to have that EMP online.
Yeah, I mean, Jinmu's had nearly double the damage done to Jimmy currently. And that's just because of the more successful dives. Gaga's getting a lot of work done there as well. Even though Charge are getting, you know, trade kills coming through, Hunters collect the backline. They get Xerneas far away. Twice in a row, 2 fights now. double support kills. That puts Xerneas and Farway really far behind in ult charge. Look at Farway's ult charge compared to Monk now. I talked about Farway being ahead of Monk on King's Row. Now it's the complete opposite.
Jimmy forcing him back. Has caught up 50% away. Jinmu, of course, obviously with the EMP ready to roll, can use that at any given moment. Just going to use it right now. Let's get the hack out here onto Farway, but the pressure is not being found, and Piggy actually just hounds down Gaga, so the EMP not going to find much value at all for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. The cleanups there, Jinmu is out, and they exit back over to the marketplace.
It's really good pocketing there coming through as well. You see Piggy, okay, he's going to have the defensive matrix. Damage not available to secure the rest of the frags. Gaga 5% off the primal. That's really important because I think Hunters could continue that dive had they been maybe a little bit more patient for that extra primal, maybe play towards the nano as well. That's now online. Well, it's actually been online for a bit.
Okay, EMP well into the back lines. This one gets Monk as well as Anisha, and the cleanup is going to be there in the end. Jimmy will go ahead and scoop up both of those eliminations. Now is going to look to just go ahead and maintain pace with Jinmu. Hell of a lot more value found for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, and also some stability, which was very much sought after for the squad. They now have the cart locked in place and actually rolling back past the church.
This is, by the way, what you would normally expect, right? When you look at this matchup on paper, you would normally expect that the Diva, especially on a defensive factor, is going to be able to protect their team. This time around, though, Gaga gets a successful dive with the Nano online as well. Can't quite say forward, but Xerneas will use the trance here.
He does. A little bit puzzling that he goes ahead and lets that one out. Does stay alive for now. Choice
sleeping.
Slept, dealt with. Monk finds the kill. Nicely done. That much more pressure taken out. And that's the pulse bomb now not being committed into the fight. Leave. He's got one of his own, however. Creeps up through the bank. Tries to go for the quick dash and lob.
What? That's still hit.
Just walks right into that one. He had every opportunity to get away from it. And instead just kind of gives the kill over. So Leave able to find one. And that should be the Chengdu Hunters establishing control now over point B. Rally's rolling just for good measure. Nisha trying to keep everybody protected. Piggy down low, and yet Jimmy taking a nap up onto the high ground. Nano still going to be invested from far away. Choice they want arrives, finds Jinmu, gets the kill. Piggy still holding forward, but still damn low on HP, and Gaga is still wreaking havoc. Primal rolling, tries to get the jungle off the side of the map. Doesn't get far away, but in that corner, but in the end, he's cleaned up. As Leaf just goes ahead and moves forward, finds the elimination. So they finally break through, get the cap onto B. It's going to be 3.5 minutes now for the Chengdu Hunters as they look to finish Dorado.
This game looks so different when Leave gets to play Tracer. His signature hero, the hero that really earned him, in my opinion, the MVP last year. Hunters, as a team, playing this sort of Sombra Tracer dive, are just so much cleaner than we saw in the other compositions that they played so far. Guangzhou Charge, I mean, they could really not keep some of those key members alive. The pulse bomb from Leave hitting, even though, like you said, Xerneas had ample time to dodge. It looks like Piggy likes to play with Fear as his primary CC. Leave plays with Charm. He attracts Xerneas.
Yep, pulse bomb didn't find the kill, but Gaga joins Leave up onto the high ground. They find the elimination again. Far away. It just seems like they have a pact. He's like, well, if you go down, I'll go down too. Both the supports dealt with once more on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Chengdu Hunters continue to push forward unhindered right now for this final stretch of the map. Piggy forced to use that self-destruct back in the spawn. Yeah, now goes for the remake. Still 2.5 minutes to try to shoot through. Nisha low, Choice A1
Jimmy
for
slept.
an opening. Jimmy slept as soon as he uses the EMP. Jinmu uses one of his own as well. Piggy down to a sliver. So narrowly staying alive into this mech right now. Pulse bomb after Choice A1, not going to be able to find a damn thing. Now Choice A1 dealt with. Gaga goes in for the stop. Xerneas pops that Transcendence once more. Jimmy has to make his exit down to a sliver. 2.95 meters left to go with plenty of time in the bank. Chengdu Hunters decide to play this one out a little bit more slowly, make sure they're all grouped together, have their angles covered, and then we'll look to reapproach and finish out the map.
It's going to be Nano versus Rally here. Pulse bomb available as well. Let's see if that's going to help. And all Pulse bomb goes out. The Nano goes on to Xerneas, but they still lose Jimmy. Still a 5v4.
So what Xerneas can do with this Zenyatta, but right now he's not finding any value, he's not finding elimination, something that desperately needs, especially when the Nano has to be invested on him. Piggy now going to be broken out of the mech, pushed away from the contest. And they do manage to go ahead and get a final touch. Choice A1 tags in for a brief little moment. 0.06 meters left to go, but as the Tracer will fall, the cart will glide in. They managed to deal with about 2 minutes of that time bank, but Chengdu Hunters crucially managed to make it to the end of the map. They complete an objective, which is not something that they've been able to do in the first two.
I mean, this is Chengdu Zone at its peak. You have the Chengdu that we saw in the last two maps, Oblivious, Lost, C9, back-to-back. And this version of Chengdu, it's like we teleported back into 2021. The version of Chengdu that has Gaga in with Leaf playing Tracer is leaps and bounds better than the version that we saw previously with a bit of Daisy on the Zarya. Leaf's hit scan has been sort of here or there this year, not nearly as good as his regular flex DPS pull. And speaking of Leaf, he hard diffed Choice 1 so far in that opening attack. It's 18 elims with 8 final blows to 5 elims and 2 final blows. Disgust. And by the way, 23 seconds faster average time to the Pulse Bomb as well, including the Pulse Bomb kills that we saw. I mentioned how much better Faraway was than Monk on King's Row. Monk's like, hang on a minute, hold my sleep dart here. Let me just sleep everybody, including Jimmy, like multiple times in a row. Jimmy's going to try and EMP me. Boom. Sleep dart straight away. Shut him down. Unbelievable stuff. I can't believe what these guys on Hunters are suddenly doing now that we're on Dorado Map 3. They're playing a different comp with a different tank in.
Winston, that was a long time.
And it's just a bit inverted compared to what we were seeing last week, where Leaf wasn't actually finding that much value when it came down to the Tracer play. It was very much when he was picking up the Sojourn that he was able to find a lot more impact in those other series, versus the Fusion, etc. But it feels like when Gaga is in this lineup, they have that dive, that synergy is so well meshed between him and the tank that Leaf can really start to just take over a lobby and show those MVP performances that got him that award.
By the way, Nisha and Leaf haven't died yet. 0 deaths. A support player 0 deaths is just kind of crazy.
Wow.
Versus a Tracer Sombra backline shouldn't be possible. Nisha hasn't died.
Oh, already Xerneas
and
falling once more.
Meanwhile.
And there's Faraway. Hand in hand into the grave. They get taken down again. Piggy going to be demeched. They can just go ahead and jump off the side of the map.
Oh, that's sad.
The beach is nice this time of year.
Yeah. My goodness, Hunters are looking like a different team. You would, if you turned all the names off, you'd assume that Charge was just spanking the Hunters right now. Not the case. Completely the opposite. Look at the difference in EMP with 80% to Jimmy's 50. Leave is dashing away in terms of the Pulse Bomb as well. Charge are barely staying alive. I mean, what does Piggy do? Piggy's trying his best to Matrix, but it's just too hard.
I mean, this is the scary prospect, though, for the Chengdu Hunters. Granted, it's a first and very necessary step to try to stay alive, but
yep, Faraway next.
Charge. If they lose this map, yeah, Faraway, of course. Xerneas is dead. Faraway has to die. They're just life-linked. But the scary prospect for this is, yes, Chengdu Hunters, they're looking great on Dorado. They should be able to close this one out, given that they're about to drain 2 minutes off this time bank already. As Jimmy skirmishes here, but then Guangzhou Charge will have their choice of map, and if they can go to somewhere that kind of forces Daisy back into the mix, the dive might not be nearly as effective. This is true.
Well, I think it doesn't really, whether you go to Colosseo or New Queen Street. I think you got to play the Zarya. It just depends on do you want to do Daisy Zarya or the Gaga Zarya. Currently, the EMP does come out. And by the way, Jimmy got slipped again. And
Xerneas is dead once more. Waiting for Faraway. There it is. It's taken down. Choice they want able to find one. Nisha still stays alive, which I do believe still means that he is deathless in this map so far.
Correct. Leave and Nisha still deathless. I don't know how Monk does it. Every time Jimmy goes for an EMP, Monk's like, no, you don't. No, you simply don't. No, I don't think I will be EMP.
Yep. And again, Piggy having to reset off the side of the map. And at this point, it feels like no matter what Guangzhou Charge are trying, it's all falling short. So unless Piggy can come up with just a Hail Mary chuck of this mech, and find a multi-frag self-destruct, it might all just be over. Nano going to be infested. They do get a catch here. Jinmu going to be taken out. Good opening kill. Nano once more onto Xerneas just to try to keep him alive. He's hunting for a target. There's Faraway dead first and foremost this time around. Transcendence will be popped. It seems like it only works if Xerneas dies first. The choice they want now going to be the one taken out. Leave just continuing to diff
in the middle of the trance.
Every twist and turn.
He's killing people in the middle of the trance. Granted, I don't think Choi was actually in the trance, but the point is trance is running for the charge, and Leave is still getting fragged. Xerneas has lost confidence, and then he's like, we can't live. Can't live at all. Time to go Lucio, time to change it up here. Piggy wouldn't mind going Azari here, but he's stuck on the Diva, and actually Diva, generally speaking, is better on Dorado, but nothing seems to be working no matter what they play. And time now, 30 seconds into final fight. Charger got to get it done now.
Yeah, and Xerneas is dead. He is taken down. Monk eliminated. Faraway trying desperately to stay alive, but there you go. Joins him in the kill feed. Brothers in arms to the very end. Piggy going to be forced to use the self-destruct out of position. It looks like he will be able to get the remake, and okay, Nisha finally dies, as does Leave. A big opening here from the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but can they play off the back of this one? Gaga still playing forward. Gets tagged up. Choi Se-won notes him.
I don't think Hunter's touch.
Looks like no. They can see it.
Okay,
It's a little bit too late. Okay, they give it over. The EMP does come out. It catches on a 4. They find Jimmy. But the trigger was pulled way behind here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters.
I think like half a second behind it. You're right, it is behind. I didn't think they were going to go for it because they're down 2. Remember, Niche and Leave were still dead. They don't actually have full 5. So very risky to go for that play. I think the safer play in terms of percentages here is to not go for the retake at all. Let's take a look at this moment. What was this? This was a... Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's impressive. Farway just kind of has a brick drop down from him, from up above.
Yeah. The piano dropped on his head.
Yeah. Did he walk under a ladder? Did he see
action.
a black cat? I don't know.
All
Is that another piano?
Farway taken down. They will trade out these Anas. Dive in, man it up now. Will go ahead and expire. And the support duo will fall. Little extended kill on Anisha, suffering, I believe, his 2nd death now. Choi Se-won gets that elimination, but is quickly dealt with. Card, in the meantime, is advancing forward. They should be able to get this just past Church, Courthouse, whatever this thing is.
I think it's a courthouse. You can get married in there as well, I think.
Pews. It's got pews, that's all I know. Hack now out of the Piggy, who has since swapped over onto the Winston.
And they're making some distance here. 60 seconds remaining, and this is where a bit of a pause does happen. Gaga's got Primal available. Jinmu's obviously going to be fine here. He's already got himself another EMP. I mean, I'm seeing a reset coming on through. Charge will struggle to survive against this. The way Charge have been, well, way that Chengdu have been diving, rather, with or without EMP, has just been staggering. So it's now this time you don't even have the defense matrix. So Zerning is dead. Far away to follow, I'm sure.
Yep, just waiting for it. He's already used the nade to try to keep himself alive, and his Leave gets into the thick of things. He's able to finish him off. Choi Se-won going low, force the recall off screen. Leave still just playing forward, looking to get that punish on a Piggy, who does manage to leap out to safety. Couple shots going his way, but now down to about 15 seconds. Chengdu Hunters looking very well poised to be able to hold this one.
Here it is, final fight, 5 seconds left. 3 ultimates up for the Hunters, including the nano boost soon as well. Piggy focused, Piggy probably dead soon.
He actually does get the kill onto Jinmu, finishes him off. Far away, however, going to be taken down now. Xerneas again under fire. Just trying to keep himself sustained. Piggy slept for a brief little moment. The healing is just not going to be there. Piggy ends up getting dropped. The OT going to bleed away. And the Chengdu Hunters will keep themselves in this series. Wow. Not going to get swept. They answer back with a map pick on Dorado to go ahead and put one under their belts, but now they need one more as we get ready to shift over to push. Yeah. See whether or not they can take this into a Game 5. Guangzhou Charge, got to be racking their brains right now, but I think that the correct response is going to be not Colosseo.
I'm a little hesitant to get excited for the Hunters, but that was a great map. That was a fantastic map and a fantastic showing from the Chengdu Hunters, right? I mean, this is the heads part of that coin flip for the Chengdu zone. And again, I think a lot of this comes down to having Gaga in for the dive, really being able to execute the dive properly together straight away. Minute number 1, in the first 10 seconds even, forget about minute, we're on Piggy and Choi and Jimmy's POV, and Charge just instantly kills Xerneas from far away. That was an incredible, gargantuan diff from Lee versus Choi and the Tracer as well. All other things considered, Leave destroyed Choi in that matchup. 15 final blows to 8, 1 death to 10 deaths on Choi, not even close. When you put Leave on the Tracer, it's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, looking very much renewed compared to last week. So a very strong showing here on that third map. Not the final one after all. The Chengdu Hunters are not out of the woods yet. In fact, they are still very much surrounded by trees and foliage and all good, all things that live and exist in forests. Anyway, I'm not sure where I'm going with this one, but I know that we're going to a break. What a transition. What a segue. I'm truly good at my job. Anyway, we'll be right back. We'll see where the Guangzhou Charge elect to take us as they try to close out this series with a 3-1 scoreline. Chengdu Hunters still fighting back, desperate for that reverse sweep. We'll see if they can continue to pull it off when we come back from the break. And we are back and not done yet. We're not ready to go in that second series. We still have to determine who is going to be going up against the Hangzhou Spark. Chengdu Hunters, they managed to answer back. They pick up a win on their map selection of Dorado. Now we get ready to move into push, where Guangzhou Charge, for the first time in the series, will have a selection of their own, aside from maybe Control, I think, because they came in as a higher seed. I forget how it works. Anyway, they have a map pick, and it's going to be New Queen Street, which is not a shock, not really a spoiler, because Chengdu Hunters are just too damn good at Coliseum.
Yeah, but I think either is fine. Even if they pick Colosseo, I think it's still Charge favored just in terms of matchups. The way I'm going to explain this is, first and foremost, Gaga has not been subbed out, so let's all take a deep breath.
Sure.
He has been retained in the roster and the lineup. However, there's not a lot of good options here for the Hunters. What are they really going to play? I don't know that you can play the Winston dive here, because if you do, my suspicion is that Charge goes Zarya Reaper. Either Jimmy or Choi can play the Reaper, and it's going to be hard for Gaga. That is not going to be a positive matchup. It's very different to Dorado. Dorado is a very vertical map. Lots of high ground control. Dive is super favored on Dorado. The Zarya sort of ground-based push compositions far better on both New Queen Street and Colosseo. So we head into now a map that favors Charge's strengths, and Hunters, they're going to have to pull through in a way that, like, I was going to say we've never seen, but we did just see it on Dorado, but they got to do that again now in New Queen Street, pushing uphill.
All right, here we go. It's either on map 5 or the end of the Chengdu Hunters season. Everything to play for. Have to just leave everything out on the table.
I want you to pay attention to this as well. So Charge are probably going to run through with Sombra Genji to begin with, because they are maybe assuming Gaga could also roll out on the Zarya. But once the scouting has happened, wait for the first death of either Jimmy or Choi. I actually think it might be Choi swapping, potentially. Watch that first death or the first respawn. If they stay on their current heroes between the Sombra Genji, or if they actually do move towards the Reap. But now that they have got that scouting confirmed, it's Brig Ana versus Lucio. Ana, for what it's worth, the Lucio great for the Zarya here as always. There's not a lot of dive here, so Jimmy and Choi have to kind of work together for that dive. Piggy's not going to be part of it, it's outside the bubbles.
Hack on a far away, but no follow-up to be found. Lee was still trying to just go ahead and navigate around the backside of the map. He's approaching from the rear, and Gaga got tagged up. Now he's going to go leaping forward. They get a little bit of pressure applied, force out that bio nade. Choi takes a hefty chunk, and Gaga going to be slipped as he goes leaping back, but he will be safely in the hands of Monk. It's going to be safe for now, as they play this one out a little bit more patiently. Gaga hugging an alleyway right now, keeping the bot contested, not allowing for the Guangzhou Charge to accrue any extra distance.
It's good defense on Faraway right on Dorado. Faraway would have died every single time here. They actually keep him up, and maybe First Blood comes through the Charge. Low HP, leave on 1, but he gets the recall.
He still dashes forward. He's playing within the Winston bubble, but Piggy just gets a 2-for-1 special. Right click into the melee shot. Nisha and Lee both going to be taken down. Jimmy does get Goomba stomped by Gaga in the end, but you know, Gaga, they're still committing to Nano to this fight. They want to keep this spot locked in place as much as humanly possible, but again, it's going to be a sleep dart connecting, and Piggy just cleans up Jinmo. Gaga woken up, anti, drops down for a little bit of extra damage, but eventually gives his life over. And Monk, yeah, really fast build time, looked great, but the timing on the Nano usage may be a bit questionable.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to really explain that one, because they were maybe just desperately trying to hold on and turn the fight around, but it's just too hard, right? A single sleep dart really shuts it down. Gaga, if he wasn't slipped and he had the damage done, would have maybe found that primal. That's a big difference maker. Now, there will be a final contest before the cap comes on through, very important. Charge are going to blow all ultimates here. The longer Charge wait, actually, the better it is for them, because they're nearly on 5 ultimates.
Dive into the back line, Gaga now primal online. Nano going to be invested, goes over to Choi He doesn't nearly have that blade at the ready. Monk trying to stay elusive, but the deflect comes in, the sleep dart does not hit. Choi it's a good amount of damage down onto the enemy DPS player, so they have to retreat. That leaves Nisha all on his lonesome. Gaga as well cleaned up, didn't commit the primal to the fight. They get 2 ults away from the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but there are still 3 there. Maybe he did get hacked, that's a good shout, but either way, the checkpoint's established. Guangzhou Charge once more on the move.
It's cheap as well, just a Nano on the blade being used there by the Charge. They get the instant cap through.
Leaf swaps.
Monk unfortunately couldn't get that sleep dart hit onto Choi, which is a little unfortunate.
EMP used by Jimmy, answering one out from Jinmu. They find Xerneas, can't drop the beat, far away, going to be taken down. And there's some good usage for you on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. all committed to the fight. Primal used as well. So just about everything that they had available, but Monk does nearly have another nano ready to go. Continues to build those up swiftly. And finally, the Chengdu Hunters have control of the bot for the first time.
And it's actually interesting that Leave goes towards the Sojin here. I actually think that's a slightly weaker pick for him compared to the Tracer, which is his signature, but also serves the dive so much better. Now they're playing, you know, the character Sojin is going to be a little bit more defensive and passive. I don't know if he's going to get the same output. It will all really depend on how he hits those rails. Guangzhou still hold the ultimates here. Rally being popped by Nisha.
Rally rolling. They spot Jimmy off here on the flank. Choice they want as well, getting involved. Grab going to be committed to Sound Barrier. A little bit too late from Xerneas to try to save the Genji's life. Does get taken down, but they find Gaga for their troubles. Xerneas dealt with. Bionade gets the kill. Leave cleans up Piggy. Just like that, Chengdu Hunters turn the fight around. It's looking damn good for Guangzhou, but now far away with a late death as well. Gonna have to wait and respawn, get escorted forward here by the Lucio.
One more fight at least. I think Charge are going to be prepared for it. They'll have the Nano available. Could be a Nano Blade as well. They just need to stall this one out. Like, Charge don't want to full commit until they're ready to Nano Blade together, so they don't want to be just getting into a 5v5 brawl. But they want to try and slow down the Hunters, prevent the cap from coming on in. And Hunters won't have a lot of great defenses. They have a Nano available themselves, but otherwise there's nothing they can really do to stop this Nano Blade.
Dive into the back, Gaga, nanoed up. Choice they want, Jimmy, both under fire. Taking a good amount of damage. Now it's going to be the answering nano. Goes over to Choice they want, instantly gets tagged down low, gets hacked. And he is just trying to rush in to get on top of Nisha, but the whip shot is crucial. Keeps him alive, and then Leave on the opposite side. Finds Xerneas. Choice they want now going to be cleaned up. Leave slurping up both of those kills. Looks for a little bit more, trying to build up the rail. Doesn't quite have the damage potential yet, but takes far away down to about 5 HP. Manages to finish him with the nade in the end. That will be the checkpoint. Snatched up here for the Chengdu Hunters, and they have a good opportunity to maybe take the lead.
I think that was actually a bit of a whiff on the Nano Blade, right? It seemed like a bit of desperation, right? Choi was not in the greatest position to go for that blade, and it was not a target-rich environment. Like, who was he actually meant to go for? EMP now catches, I think, 3 to 4 there.
Beautiful.
Xerneas is instantly falling down.
Yeah, it's just perfect. Catches them as they try to get in a position to go for the recontest. Choice A1 will manage to find one, but
Hunters should flip here.
Try to exit. They should. They're still waiting for the respawns now from Piggy, so yeah, Chengdu Hunters will go ahead, gain the lead for themselves, and it's going to be now just over half of the time bank drained down.
Choi's option is actually going towards the Tracer. That's really interesting. So now Choi's the one on the Tracer. They're giving up that Genji. Neither team is going to be playing the Genji anymore. Hunter's in a pretty decent position right now with the fact that they got that flip. They saw 3 ultimates to play through as well. They know that Piggy doesn't quite have the Zarya. Sorry, he doesn't quite have the grab via the hack that just came through from Jinmu. So good information gathering there.
Oh, and Jimmy taken down. Jinmu getting the better of him. Choice A1 a little bit too late to try to capitalize and answer that one back, if not save Jimmy's life. Bot still pushed into a very forward position here by the Chengdu Hunters. They have not really given up this forward spot. Xerneas hacked once more. Jinmu just making his life a living hell. It's the overclock now online.
And Hunters can play this one really slowly. I mean, their goal would just be to slow down the game, bring down the timer.
They're going soloist right now inside the Guangzhou Charge.
Charge are basically going back to the King's Road comp, right? The only thing they're missing is Farway on the back. I don't know how Piggy just dies if he does. Piggy's just dead.
He just gets melted down. The headshot was so swift from Leave. Gaga just goes ahead, finds 2 for himself. Choice A1, not really anywhere to go here. About 10 HP remaining on that Tracer. Grabs a mega pack
This could be 100. This could be 100 meters. We're already 90 plus at the moment. Charge have ults to play through, but they're getting desperate here. I mean, this is a high likelihood of Hunters taking us to a map 5. If Charge can't secure some fights, they lose another player.
I don't know. Leave was just feeling it. You're talking about how good the Tracer is, but he says, you know what? No, it's Sojin time. Goes over to it. And he has just been finding an immense amount of value thus far. Grab still at the ready. Gaga, nothing trying to survive through with that one. Nano not at the ready as well. Bubbles go out. Hack comes through. Piggy getting clipped by that. Grab going to be invested, but where is it? Okay, gets the catch onto one. They find Leave. They take him down. That is going to be a prime target. Jinmu translocates out the safety. EMP nearly online. The bot for now grabbed here, rather. Further side of the Guangzhou Chargers trying to get this back into a workable spot and also take away these forward spawns.
Man, it's so hard to lock down Gaga. Look how tricky it is. It usually should be easy to punish him, but they just can't chase him down. Gaga's still alive. Good pulse bump, at least from Choi. Meanwhile, Payload is very quickly moving away, so Charge, they gotta get the cleanup here. This isn't even really a fight of Kilios. This was just kind of like a weird Hunter pseudo reset. Gaga's kind of being like a bit of an annoying person in the front lines for the Charge to deal with, but he's also resetting at the same time. Hunters are waiting for Leave to come back from spawn after the picky grab, but they never really look like they got the 5 together, and eventually Choi breaks the dam open.
Nano use EMP, ready to go. Jimmy pushes up forward aggressively here with this overclock. He wants to try to cancel out Nisha's rally, but he's not been able to do so. Sleep Dart goes out into Gaga. He's going to be taking an nap for now. Far away, taken down. Jimmy down to his sliver of HP,
so
slides
low.
away. Desperately is trying to stay alive, but Gaga and Jinru will hound him down in the end. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade up here, and once more the Chengdu Hunters in control of the bot. Shipping it back
And they're
across the
pushing.
opposite side of the map.
They're pushing the bot at the same time as doing these frags as well. Xerneas on 1
Xerneas.
HP. Charge need to reset here. They need to find a way back to their spawn. Or they have to throw their lives at this payload. Either or, they need to be able to regroup quickly. They will be able to get their 5 alive based on the fact that they have the closer respawns. And Choi will make it a 5v4.
Pulse from him is good, getting Nisha. That'll be the icing on the cake. Just fully take the supports out of the fight, but you can see as he's preoccupied, Gaga is left out the dry, so Nisha just gonna go ahead and have to int onto the bot to go for a reset. Things are coming down, they're on the hunt.
Look at
Trying
Cap,
to
look at
spy
Cap.
check for Jinmu. They don't find him, but yes, the bot, it didn't go that far away. So the forward spawns are still maintained for the side of the Guangzhou
Yeah,
charge, and
so-
now they're getting ready to push once more. It's 9
And
meters to go.
Hunters cannot afford this flip to happen. They need to get the touch primal. There has to be a primal here from Gaga to make sure he doesn't die.
Call out from Choice A1. Piggy 10% away from having the grab online. Leave the overclock nearly there. He's been finding so much value with them.
This is
Needs
it.
to do
This
it
is the
yet
fight.
again here for his team. They're looking for the grab. Pulled in. Not sure if he
Xerneas
caught
dead.
anybody with that one, but he gets taken down. The overclock comes in. Lee finds the elimination. Jimmy able to answer one back. That's going to be Gaga now out of the fight. Xerneas commits the sound barrier in, despite the fact that they do not have the tank. They know that they need to win this one out. They need to get the spot contested. Xerneas still down low on HP.
Nano,
Choice A1,
EMP.
Pulse Bomb goes down, Leaf gets the headshot, EMP comes through, it catches the supports, they get taken down, and we're going to a map number 5.
Oh my goodness, the Guangzhou charge, they cannot get the final push in there. Piggy falls, Xerneas will drop the 4-man beat, but it is not enough. They cannot lock down Leave. And it seems like now, in the later half of this matchup, the Tracer and the Sojin as well, coming up big time for Leave. When in the first 2 maps, the Sojin did not look that comfortable, but with Gaga in the lineup, they make the dive work. I don't think Gaga was ever that pressured, that punished. You see how long he stays alive for. You see how annoying it is for the charge to take him down. Choi decides to go from the Genji, the Tracer, and look, the Tracer had some value. The Pulse Bombs were great, but Gaga was not pressured. Chengdu Hunters on that very successful push, 90, I think 8 meters or something like that, nearly 100. That was the push that won them this map and taking us to map 5.
Backs up against the wall now. Guangzhou charge in danger of being reverse swept. It seemed nigh impossible for the Chengdu Hunters to get us to this point, but the last 2 maps have been crisp and clean from them. Now, just one more standing in their way. Guangzhou Charge, of course, are going to have the final map selection to try to deny this one away from the Chengdu Hunters, to best them this time, get the upper hand in a 3-2 win. We'll have to just wait and see if they can do it and where they decide to take us, as we have one last map of control to determine who is going on to face up against the Hangzhou Spark just a little bit later on tonight. Don't go anywhere, guys. Map 5 coming up in just a few minutes, and you certainly don't want to miss it.
You make it too easy. Escorting the robot. This ends now. I'm unstoppable.
我想和你一样深醉，我想有你一样的能力，想有你的誓言来看世界，想有精致的无限的画面。我想和你一样深醉，我想有你一样的能力，想有你的誓言来看世界，想有精致的无限的画面。我想和你一样深醉，我想有你一样的能力，想有你的誓言来看世界，想有精致的无限的画面。
And we're back and going into a game 5. If you stop paying attention after map number 2, so oh, maybe this series is just going to be a wash. Go on, your charge looking good. Should just be a 3-0. Not today. It is going all the way to a final map. Now we have to see what the final map selection is here from the Guangzhou Charge to try to close out this series. But I can tell you this, Chengdu Hunters, they are not changing anything. Gaga has stepped in, and so far they have not lost a map with him in this lineup.
Yeah, 100% win rate in the series so far with Gaga in, and I think it's getting scary for Guangzhou now because their hopes of making the playoffs starting to get dashed here. The reverse sweep is ever becoming so real for the Chengdu Hunters, and I think that last map, that could be the straw that breaks the camel's back because it is, again, so Charge favored, in my opinion, because it's a really good map for Azari and not a very good map for a Winston, and yet Charge do not win that. It was still close, but Hunters, they take it through, and now we go to Oasis where, honestly, on paper, very 50-50
Winston can find
map
some value.
You look at City Center, it's I would say a pretty Winston favored map there. Piggy probably even has to think about playing a Diva there. You look at University, okay, now Piggy goes back on a Zarya, pretty reasonable Zarya map. I think Charge take that one. Garden, 50-50, anyone can take that. I think for Guangzhou, they have to win University. Hunters, they have to win City Center, and again, Gardens will be the swing map for me. So when we look at how things have progressed so far, Charge should have done a lot more to get that new Queen Street win. I don't have a stat for how much damage Gaga took, but I do have a stat for how much healing Hunters had instead of Charge, and what that says to me is that Gaga just lived for way too much that never got punished. Winston, super punishable in this meta. Didn't really get that punished. 18,300 roughly is the total healing from Chengdu between Monk and Nisha. 13,100 total healing between Xerneas and Farway. That's like a 5,000 damage heal gap. And a lot of that probably did actually go into Gaga. Heavily pocketed by Monk.
Well, now here's the question. Chengdu Hunters, can you finish what you have started? Bring it all the way to a map 5. Can you close it out, or will the Guangzhou Charge be able to snuff the flame? Gaga looking to contest that high ground initially, does get forced back, goes in for the dive, gets slapped, antied out, dash through, and there's the cleanup. Piggy finds first blood. Leave as well getting involved, takes Farway down to low HP, but eventually has to drop back. Jimmy gonna be hacked out, desperately needs some healing, and he comes flying through at the very last moment. Farway keeps him alive.
Really nicely played there by the Charge. They stopped the dive from Gaga. I saw the sleep in there. The anti from Farway. Jimmy gets hacked, low HP, but Fire with the long-range healing keeps him alive. So brilliant from that Ana player on the Guangzhou Charge side. Early cap coming on through does remind you quite a decent amount of our opening map as well on Busan, where Charge had the early percentage points.
Point being contested. Gaga again up onto the high ground, goes low, drops over, jumps over rather, joins in with Monk. He's just using him like an ult battery, 50% away from that initial nano now. Might be needed if they're going to try to get this flip. Jimmy, however, going to be taken down. Jimmy found him with a hack. Can't make his exit. Leave goes ahead, scoops up the kill. I think he stays alive
Flip.
for now, but Guangzhou Charge, yeah, they stop occupying the point. Chengdu Hunters go ahead, snatch it away from them.
And now Charge have to be the ones to reset, play this one slowly, look for a way back in. Might have to spend resources here. I'm looking towards a Nano Blade. And Chengdu Hunters, right, Monk and Nisha have to play together here. You need the whip shot, you need the sleep duck, you need to stop this Nano Blade from getting success.
May not connecting, Piggy going low. Stick there, far away, taken down. Choice they want, however, in the back lines. Nano up with the blade in hands, looking for Nisha. It's forced
Good
back by the
whip
whip shot. Now Piggy and Xerneas, they get cleaned up. Choice they want, dead on the back end of the blade. Yeah, you get one kill, you take Monk out of the equation, but the rest of the team comes tumbling down. Chengdu Hunters now take the lead here on Garden.
And I love that from Leave as well, because he just sees, okay, we're not going to have great defenses versus the Nano Blade, but I can get a pulse pump. We can trade backlines. We're going to lose Monk, but I will get far away. So they get the Ana for the Ana, the rest of the trades favorable for the Hunters. They have EMP earlier here as well, 99 for Jimmu, 80% just for Jimmy. Cap now going very heavily towards the way of Hunters, 51% and counting up. We're looking towards the sound barrier being dropped currently.
Does get forced out. Gaga now primal,
EMP?
knocks him back down the stairway. There's the EMP, catches all three of them. Piggy the only one staying alive for a little bit longer here, but gets juggled around, and Leave arrives to go ahead and take him down. Chengdu Hunters looking firmly in control, and I was going to say, this is looking very similar to Dorado. They come in and they throw out the Genji blade, but the backline is completely out in the open, and they get torn apart.
This is what we didn't see on Busan, right? Because on Busan, Charge would get to 80, 90%. Hunters might get one flip, and they eventually lose the point. They lose the map here. 33 for Charge. Hunters get a very quick flip, all things considered, and now they are looking towards final fight. We have another pulse bomb coming online. Rally's going to be looking good as well. EMP and Grav should be enough for Charge. I do expect Charge to win this fight, but can they win subsequent fights?
Okay, EMP goes out, does find the supports. The cleanup is going to be there. Leave still finds far away. Takes out one, but seems like that should be enough for them to be able to get this flip, but it is in overtime. So back in control once more here are the Guangzhou Charges. Jimmy goes pushing forward, duking it out with Jinmil. Just playing chicken with the translocators.
Next fight should be Grav. I don't know if there's going to be amazing Grav targets, but you just got to get what you can here for Chengdu. They're waiting for EMP, so when right now Chengdu can afford to lose a couple fights in a row. Oh my goodness, or he could just kill Jimmy like that, 5v4. Piggy has to pull trigger now. He has to be the guy to carry this fight.
Hacking up far away, but no one's there for a follow-up. They can't dive onto the Ana, so he's going to be safe for now. Grab's still at the ready. The flip getting ready to come back through. The recontest is there for a little brief moment.
Piggy looking.
Keep it rolling. Grab now going to be lobbed in. Who did he catch? Looks like it's going to be Monk. They take him down. There's the stick. Gaga eliminated. Choice Hwan manages to find both the eliminations. Leave trying to exit. Drops his way down. The chase is coming through. He grabs a health pack. A little bit of health packs coming through from Nisha as well. Will keep him sustained as he goes ahead and exits back out. Choice Hwan will make his lead, but now Guangzhou Charge maintaining control, looking to also take us up to 99.
It's the EMP. Once Jimmu gets, also it needs to land on the Fireway. If they can kill Fireway in the EMP, there won't be a Nano. The only issue here is Jimmu's a little slow here. He needs the 99. He's got to beat the timing of the Charge's Cap. Cap's about to go 99 as well. Jimmu's finally got it online. But can he land on the backline? This, again, has to go onto Fireway, I think.
They have to be aware of this. It's going to be Nano v Nano. The EMP layered in. Pulse bomb from Leave as well, about to be ready. Choice Hwan going slow. There's the Nano first and foremost. Goes up to Piggy. Choice Hwan going to be taking a nap somewhere. They try to keep protected, but Piggy just cannot arrive in time. He ends up falling. And now Piggy is not occupying the point. The point is left. It's flipped over now. As Piggy is desperately trying to kill off Nisha, but it's just not going to happen. Instead, he gets surrounded, and no one can touch.
Hold it.
And Choice Hwan getting slept is the pull on the thread that starts unraveling the sweater here for the Guangzhou Charge. Draws attention. They stop occupying. Chengdu Hunters, they take the first round.
And I gotta say there as well, that was even including Charge getting to use their ultimates, because Farway still had that Nano up first. He allows Piggy to start walking forward to try and get targets down. Hunters, with the effective trays, we didn't have our eyes on Jinmu, but he finds the backline. EMP catching both Xerneas and Farway. Both will go down in tandem together. With the Guangzhou Charge with 0 healers up, Piggy can do no more, and the fight's over. That was the swing map. The issue here now is Charge have to win 2. Now, I favor Charge on University, but they will now be required to win City Center, which is favored for the Chengdu Hunters. Gardens was the most important round to win.
University now
Off
needs
the
to
map?
be everything. Far away off the side of the map. Nisha sends him down into the depths below.
Another one.
Another boop there. Xerneas does find Monks. They're just going to be trading on, as it would seem, off the sides. The Lucio's very much looking to get involved. And they are, but it's the Chengdu Hunters who still maintain a bit of a forward position. Leave, however, going down does break things open significantly. They chase in. They're looking for Gaga to try to get that elimination. Boop back. Tries to get the hit here onto Jinmu, and Xerneas will be able to finish him in the end. Dash to the side. Choice Hwan makes his exit, stays safe. They get the hack out. Xerneas getting bogged into the corner, but somehow doesn't get punished either. So we'll be safe for now. Guangzhou Charge, they have the initial lockdown.
So once again, Charge get the early cap. I think they've gotten pretty much every single initial neutral fight win and cap on control maps between Busan and now Oasis as well. Hunters flipped at 33% on Gardens. What are they going to flip at now? Leading the ult charge is going to be Zernia so far. 84 looking very good on the Lucio position. 80%
Right now,
for
given the
Jimmy as well
HP
is
bars,
great.
Guangzhou Charge can't really play the point. Cernius trying desperately to keep them all alive. Gaga drops into the pit, jumps straight back out. Bubble comes through. It's going to be the sound barrier used, and Jinmu gets taken down. Now Nisha going to fall as well. Clean fight here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Piggy just takes a little bit of a rest. Gaga is going to try to survive, but he's not going to be able to. So nice little extra stagger on the back end as Guangzhou Charge move past 50%.
And this is the sort of position now as well where you can afford to go for a tempo beat. You have other options when Hunters actually go for their own Nano Blade. First of all, you have yours. Farway and Choi can play for it. In fact, Choi's already lurking for it. Jimmy can shut down a Blade as well with a hack with his EMP. Piggy working on the grab. Charge now leading on 65%. There's the EMP.
EMP goes out. Monk gets taken down. Blade pulled by Jinmu. Does find Faraway. So minor trade out, but now follows up. Manages just to find a second one. Choi Se-Wan still trying to answer back. Gets
Jimmy with 3.
a little bit of extra, little juicier for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but it's not nearly enough. Point will get flipped here in the end. 81% established, though, for the side of the Guangzhou Charge with plenty of ults to get ready to utilize. Chengdu Hunters going to have to expend some if they want to hold this.
That was a very critical fight win for the Hunters as well because they won that on a Hero Blade from Jinmu. No assistance from Monk. He died. No nano. And the other members as well. I think they had another death in the middle of that fight, so Jinmu just pulls it, gets a double kill. Hunters sneak that one away. A very important fight when Charge looking like they were ahead on ultimates. EMP not enough. Here comes Choi now.
Blade from Choi, beats there. Nisha trying to keep him alive, gets slumped for a brief little moment, wakes up, pops the deflect, drops down, grabs the Mega Pack. He got one target, so the man advantage still going to be there for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but you can see, I mean, Ska got hacked all the way in the back line, just zoning people away with a primal. Choi's dead, as you say. Stuck in a precarious spot, ends up falling. Gaga gonna get taken down, though, so maybe a minor window of opportunity to play off of.
That's huge, and then Charge can walk forward now. I mean, it's the tank difference now is that Charge have full confidence in the 5v4. Choi coming through with the tracer, as you say, and a big grab that will win them the fight.
It catches two, and yeah, the flip is going to be there for the Charge. They do lose out on Jimmy, able to make them pay. As now it's going to be Nano out from Monk. Goes over to Jinmu. Blade's nearly up from him, but does get slumped. Right click actually wakes him up. I'm not sure about that one, Piggy. It's going to go right back into the fight now. They want to go ahead and close this out right now.
Touch. They got a touch.
The sound barrier does get invested. The touch is there. They force out the OT. Jinmu taken down. Piggy low on HP, but now Nisha gone as well. And with the man advantage, the Guangzhou Charge, they manage to take University. And it's going to be City Center that decides it all.
Yeah, and this is where things are going to get really interesting, as I've said so far, painting the story of how I expect Oasis to go. Charge favored on University, Gardens 50-50, Chengdu favored on City Center. A much better map to kind of dive on, to execute the kind of strategies that Hunters want to play through. So Charge, look, if they're going to win this, if they are going to go to face the Hangzhou Spark in another Joe-down in the plans to go to playoffs, they're going to have to fight uphill a little bit here. They can win. It is possible. We saw Hunters win an unfavorable map on New Queen Street. Charge can do the same. Is this going to be the reverse sweep? We're really going the full distance here.
Everything to play for both of these teams. Their 2022 seasons on the line. One of them, it's all coming to an end. The other gets to move forward. Play against the Hangzhou Spark in about a half hour's time. Jimmy going for the hack. The shield comes up. Nisha keeps himself protected. Choi Se-Wan just dashing out. Seems a bubble to get the follow-up hack here onto Gaga right before he leaps in. Damage not looking great onto the Winston, however, so Gaga going to be perfectly safe for now.
Early cap has gone Charge's way. The majority of control maps. If Hunters actually get an early cap, that will be a huge boon for them. Far away looking down. Yep, there it is. Byronate connected with the dive.
And far away from the rest of his team. The bubble just not nearly enough to try to save him. Now Xerneas dead as well. And that's the first lockdown here for the Chengdu Hunters, gaining control. You already mentioned it. On paper, very much favored here on this map. Now they're looking for a little bit extra. Piggy pops the bubble. Looks like he will be able to stay safe. That keeps whatever energy he does have available going forward into the next fight. So crucial that he stays alive here.
And this is just such a more difficult map to punish Gaga on as well. I mean, the angles he can jump away on, all the different angles that the dives can approach on. Look at Monk, by the way, 84%. Farway is lagging behind here. It's got to be an early nano. Should go on to Gaga here. And the Charge don't have a lot to play through. I mean, Hunters can secure a fight off the nano alone.
They're trying to spy check there. Nisha again. I believe eluding the hack. Is Jimmy going to be able to find Monk? Pulse Bomb goes out from Leave, not going to get anything, but it will be on a swap out at the end as Farway is dead. Xerneas makes him on the opposite side of the wall, grabs the health pack to stay alive. Now he's going to need to get right back into the fight here. Join in with the rest of the team to try to keep them in this one.
Looking to grab.
Leave going to get taken down. Piggy finds the kill. The grab nearly there. Gaga trying to play forward, but does not have a primal. Jumps back out to safety. The point going to be cleared for the moment as Jinmu goes ahead, translocates away. The Guangzhou Charge will be able to take this without having to commit an ult.
Yep. And I think the important thing there was Xerneas survived, right? Because you see the actual POV from Leave. They got Farway down, but they couldn't chase Xerneas. He was wall riding away, grabs the health pack like you sort of mentioned there. Leave can't chase him down. Gaga had already burned his jump, and once Guangzhou Charge actually regroup with Xerneas alive to keep the team up, that's how Charge then when they kill Leave, and it's enough. Here comes the EMP in the backline, and another sleep. Monk has been phenomenal with these.
Yep, and he's just shut down. Sound barrier dropped from Xerneas. He was trying to get into position to try to save Jimmy's life, but it's far too late. He is taken down. Grab now going to be committed. Manages to find 3. The blade gets pulled. Leaf going to be taken down. The blade might not be doing that much work here for them, but the cleanup is still looking good. Guangzhou Charge, though, they expend everything that they had to maintain control at this point, and they're still not even tied.
But that's the problem, right? Because they actually overspend. Like you sort of mentioned that the grab on its own was probably enough. The addition of the extra blade ends up being wasted for the Charge. We need to look at longevity here. What's the overall game plan for the Charge? How do you go from 50 to 100? You secured the fight to get 50, but now Hunters have the economical resources. They are the ones holding the cards to actually take us to a 99.
Xerneas noted Jinmu tracking his whereabouts. Spots both of the supports here. I thought maybe he was just going to go ahead and pull the trigger on the EMP. He does not. Instead, they play this out a little bit more patiently. Gaga goes diving in. Now the Primal's going to be popped. Jimmy going to be taken down. Leaf finds that kill. Jinmu still holding onto the ult. Now makes his exit with the translocator. Leaf going to be hacked. Piggy is desperately trying to finish him off, but he cannot do so. Pulse Bomb does get used, but it's going to be the Bionade that actually manages to find the kill. The flip coming through. Guangzhou Charge, 81%. Hunters regain control. Now getting ready to crest 60.
And crucially as well, 81% means it's actually not enough. So even if Charge get the flip here at 81, guaranteed one more fight for Hunters. So if Hunters, even if they lose, hold on to enough resources to get a retake in there, it's not over. Hunters, though, because they have the Nano and the EMP, specifically the EMP here, again, watch the backline. Xerneas and Farway have to be the targets here. Line that up with Gaga and Leave. They can win a fight off the EMP alone. And now we're at 80%. So if they EMP this one, we can go to 99 from here.
Yeah. HP Bars is looking a little bit rocky there from the side of the Guangzhou Charge. I thought they were going to strike, but now they do. Farway melted. Xerneas taken down, and maybe we're not going to get the double 99s. Piggy left on the bubbles come through, but he is not going to be able to stay alive, and somebody needs a touch. Choice they want, Jimmy. It's going to have to be on them. The touch is there. The OT will be forced out, but now they need a miracle. They need to go ahead and play this out and be more clutch than they've ever been in their lives, in their careers. Pulse Bomb nearly at the ready from Choice A1. Nano at the ready from Farway, but Choice A1 gets hacked. And he's instantly struck down. Gaga finds the kill. Xerneas tries to get back in, but Farway's going to be dealt with. Leaf finds the kill. The Nano was used. It goes over to Piggy, who's since swapped over to the Winston, but they are just bleeding out one member after the other. Jimmy going to be taken down. Piggy is dead. The OT bleeds away, and the Chengdu Hunters have done it. They keep their season alive by reverse sweeping the Guangzhou Charge. Map picks be damned. They managed to level up in their performance, and they close out this series. For the Guangzhou Charge, it has been a wonderful run back here in the final stage. The Countdown Cup qualifier into the play-ins. They kick things off with a very strong first 2 maps. It looked like they had it in the bag. But Chengdu Hunters, they find their stride with Gaga leading them in the front line, and they close this out in a reverse sweep fashion.
It's so beautiful to watch when Hunters are firing on all cylinders and they have the game plan, they have the goal, they have the win conditions locked down. And you get towards the end there, Oasis playing out almost exactly how as you'd imagine it, right? Where the strengths personally are, which maps are going to be favored for which teams there, and for the Charge, right at the end there, perfect dive on top of them. Xerneas and Farway taken down by the EMP, and the Chengdu Hunters off the back of Gaga playing the Winston, forcing it in this meta that is otherwise dominated by off-tank Zari and D.Va. Hunters will pull through what looked like an impossible reverse sweep. If you looked at only the first 2 maps, you would not have believed it was possible to get that reverse sweep in there. But 3 maps in a row, the Hunters defy expectations. And I got to speak about those expectations because Charge come into this play-ins, I'll say it straight, as the hard favorite to go to playoffs in APAC. Hard favorite over Hunters, over the Spark. And Charge are going to be the first ones eliminated. And now we have to congratulate the Hunters further for the play of the match. Goes to your 2021 MVP Leave, who came back, showed that MVP quality once again.
Yeah, a rough first 2 maps from him. I mean, rough first 2 maps from pretty much everybody on the side of Chengdu Hunters. Weren't many bright spots to speak of, but Leave was able to find some value early on with the Sojourn, some nice picks from him to try to make it a little bit more competitive, to be able to get some control when they were playing on Busan. But once we got over to Dorado, he comes out with this Tracer. I mean, what a stick from him. It just looked immaculate. And I think that, you know, nothing, again, against Daisy, but it just feels like the cohesion, the comms, everything about the Chengdu Hunters is so much cleaner when Gaga is there.
Yeah.
That it feels like that presence, whatever it is, whether it's a communication or not, it really enables Leave to find his form, to go back to being our 2021 MVP and just showing what he's capable of, because once Gaga came in, Leave just started dominating once more.
Yeah, and I think as well, you know, this was a sort of matchup as well. I'll repeat a bit of analysis I gave up in New Queen Shoot. I don't think that Winston was very adequately focused on over the course of this match. I still think Winston is very counterable in this particular meta, which is why you know, there's Hunters still have a lot of work to do ahead of them if they want to go to the playoffs. And that's the other thing, right? I kind of teased the Reaper, never saw it, didn't come out on New Queen Street. I could imagine, okay, you don't really want to play a Reaper on Dorado, I accept that, but New Queen Street's a different story here. Seeing some stats here from Leave, I actually think his stats on Tracer were quite nuts as well, especially that Dorado game where statistically compared to Choice 1, I mean, his output was just, it was a gulf. It was a canyon of a diff against Choice 1 on Dorado specifically. But overall, I think Hunters, I don't know if I want to say they're back, because I think they got a bit of a hill to climb, but this has just been a phenomenal showing. And as a final sort of ode to Guangzhou as well, I think they had one of the best comebacks that we've seen from a franchise that has otherwise had an incredibly poor performance. First 2 stages, Achilles, 1 win total versus Valiant, that's it. No other wins. They bring in Jimmy, they bring in Piggy, Xerneas, Faraway, everybody. Well, actually, Faraway was there originally. And suddenly the entire team has turned around. So, you know, gotta admit, there at least was a little bit of glory to the Guangzhou Economic and Technological Development Zone in this season.
No, there certainly was, and I believe that we have a game break after this as well, so we're not quite done discussing things before we get ready to go to Hangzhou, unless I'm wrong about that, and we go straight into the longer break to give Chengdu their much-needed rest. But, okay, I'm being told by production we do have a game break, so we'll have plenty more to break down. We can sing some praises here from Guangzhou Charge and kind of remember them throughout this season so far, as well as get the stage set for that second series of the evening. That's going to be coming up on the back side of the break, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Parting is such sweet sorrow, but unfortunately we did have to part with the Guangzhou Charge. Unable to close out after that 2-0 lead, Chengdu Hunters reverse sweep them to keep themselves alive here in the play-in and still have a crack at the playoffs. But for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, it's been a very up and down, very rocky season. They managed to find themselves in that 5th seed position coming into this tournament today, but it all comes to a close now.
Yeah, and I think there's still a lot to be proud of, right? Like I said as we exited from the match and headed towards the break, this is a team that struggled a lot this year, but had one of the greatest, I think, franchise comebacks in the middle of the season, by the way, to actually give themselves a real shot at making playoffs. Like, they actually had a direct pathway of qualification to playoffs. And I'll say again, I truly believed, and I'm not alone on this, I think most people would agree after watching the games in APAC, that the Charge were the heavy favorites in this play-ins bracket to actually go to playoffs. And look, my heart does break a little bit that Custer can't meet Jimmy in person now, but maybe next year. Guangzhou Charge, there's still a lot to be proud of despite losing today. I mean, remember, they had a 12-match loss streak after they beat the Valley, which is the only other match they won in the first 2 stages of the year, right? They went, how many? It was 1-11, I believe, 1-11, and then they still lost the opening match of the Summer Showdown to Shanghai, who eventually won Summer Showdown, so can't fault them too much for that. I respect the fact that, you know, this team, Charge, they never gave up. They truly believed that they could turn their season around. They made the relevant adjustments. They brought in some hot talent coming through from Ultra Prime Academy, who were ex-Chengdu players, and really took it to everybody in the region. I mean, Charge went from a team that were devastating to watch to a team that was seriously challenging every single other team. And they had a great record in the other 2 stages, the last 2 stages of the year.
Yeah, I think if we had an award for, like, you know, most valuable mid-season addition to a roster, Piggy would be right up there as far as the conversation, if not the entire conversation, because he came in and he looked so damn good for this squad. Granted, a couple iffy moments today. Granted, they were also on the maps that they won. The King's Row, in particular, having a couple of those whiffy grabs coming through. They were able to close it out in the end. But for the most part, I mean, Piggy has come into this roster, and they had a little bit of a rocky start. But you say, okay, it's fine. He's still getting integrated. It's only the first week, and then by the second week, it was just like, boom, full integration. You know, minds assimilated together, and they just looked incredible together. So that was a big reason why they were able to make this run back.
Their season record is what, 9-15, equal with the Chengdu Hunters, by the way, 9-15. In fact, they end up placing, if we look at final placements for the season, 5th place, 5th seed they came into this play-ins, didn't they? So very big achievement. Going from 1-11, 1-12 even at one point, to 9-15, of which 8 out of those 9 they received from the Summer Showdown onwards, just proves how much of a positive change their roster additions, the addition of Ty Dollar back on the coaching staff as well, really gave them. So, props to the Charge for turning it around. I mean, it's such a rare thing to see in the middle of the season.
Yeah, it was good to see that this team, after the rocky start, because, I mean, remember, like, the first 2 wins that they basically had gotten were both versus the Valiant, and that's how much they were struggling. They were only really able to best them. They had a couple close series, but they couldn't quite get over the finish line. But it was great to see that despite that rough start, they and pretty much none of the teams this whole season have just kind of given up. Nobody checked out. The Valiant had an incredible run back. If they had been able to take down the Guangzhou Charge, they would have been in this exact position. Who knows, maybe they would have been able to beat the Chengdu Hunters. It's hard to say, but it was great to see the perseverance from all of the teams so far in APAC, but we have had to say goodbye to 2 of them. A third one is going to be joining them very soon, though, and it's one of those teams there at the bottom of your screens. Chengdu Hunters, they're not done yet. They have to play another series this evening to see if they can make it into the playoffs, and to do that, they have to best the Hangzhou Spark. Spark, though, are also coming off the back of a very interesting, let's say, last week of regular season play last Saturday. Myself and Trid had to go through that one. So we'll see what happens and whether or not they are going to be able to shake off those jitters and whether or not either of these teams is going to be able to play the points, because we saw Chengdu struggling with that as well in the first 2 maps. So we'll see what happens. We're going to have a little bit of an extended break, though, to let the players, especially on the side of Chengdu, get ready, have a bit of a breather in between these series, and then get ready to go. So that's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Pay attention to the timer on your squad, and we'll see you guys when the match is ready to kick off.
The 2022 Overwatch League season has been absolutely jam-packed with action. With new heroes, new maps, new game modes, and new tournament champions, there's been tons of excitement all year long. With the finish line in sight, it's time to set the final stage with our recap of the season so far. The season got off to a hot start in May with qualifiers for our first tournament of the year, the Kickoff Clash. Teams came into the season revamped and revitalized for 5v5 play, a big shift from seasons prior. And these major changes to the game led to some stellar Overwatch play right from the get-go.
As Tagmiser gets two, looking for a little bit more. The rest of Chengdu Hunters vulnerable to Li Jaegon getting a triple boot, a quadruple. What? Oh my god!
What is more satisfying than that? I cannot name a single thing.
Funny Astro with a little, with some big kills there in the feed. So.
Yeah, Lastro or Funny Astro.
They put a lot of heals out onto them, the nano boost as well. Lip gonna find 1, 2, 3 kills, looking for a little more, and he's gonna get all 5 members. Gets the ace.
When the dust finally settled, we ended up with the final Kickoff Clash brackets for both East and West tournaments, where winners of each region were crowned. While the East region competed online, the teams in the West traveled down to Arlington, Texas to compete in front of a raucous crowd thanks to our generous hosts, the Dallas Fuel. With the first title of the year on the line, teams showed us their A-game.
Ederson with a 5K! Prophet is going off. He is finding damn near everything in the kill feed right now.
What can you do when Prophet is this good?
Shoot with another kill! How does he keep doing this?
Fits with the visor,
5K.
is looking for the 5K, and he is going to get it.
Still a legitimate threat, forcing away the Outlaws, but Pelican comes out of nowhere, millimeters away from victory, and they've done it! What am I watching?
Zest answers back with one last kill, but the OT will bleed down ever so quickly. The Soul Dynasty will take this final 4-0.
But the Gladiators are just tearing them apart! With a victorious war, the Gladiators extinguish the Fuel's flame and secure the Kickoff Clash title!
After crowning our tournament champions in each region, we turn once again to qualifying play, but this time for our first global tournament of the year, the Mid-Season Madness. With a new stage came a new meta, heavily involving one of our new Overwatch 2 heroes, Sojourn. And oh boy, was that meta off the rails. Quite literally.
Kai! Who is this man?
MN3, why did they feed him today? Is this the work of the cheesesteaks? No, they don't know! Oh, honey!
Oh my god! Oh, they were standing in a straight line!
Meteor strike from the copy, but the Outlaws find the cap! There's no way that just happened! They're gonna touch.
Oh, no!
Come on!
You can't be serious!
It's still blank, by the way, because there's probably gonna be more.
From there, it was time for the two regions to clash to crown the global Mid-Season Madness champion. The teams from the West travelled once again to Hawaii to be able to compete against their colleagues from across the Pacific, as we were finally able to see who got first bragging rights, East or West.
Nearly 3 minutes gone. Oh, what is that? I haven't even got to the bridge. Backbone!
MN3 has a safe position to play from. Artemo falls, bullet between the shoulder blades.
Cuts down Bernard, looks for a little bit more. He's gonna get shy. He gets super rich. He gets absolutely everybody.
Oh god, no.
Did you? I am Winston.
Dex, we need you to get us out of here.
Everybody else piles in around him. They get the elimination shy once more.
Nomi can just throw it into that grab, but Dante's already dealt a lot of damage. A triple kill for the Doom.
Arndt gets Violet. They get the kills. And suddenly it's just Kilo. The cleanup comes through. He's
Touch,
he's gonna touch. They can't do it. Unbelievable. The Gladiators take this series 4-2 in the end. They are your Mid-Season Madness champions.
The LA Gladiators are gonna go back to back.
After a short break, teams were back at it again for the qualifiers for our third tournament, the Summer Showdown. We once again welcomed a new Overwatch 2 hero into the meta, Junker Queen. And we all looked to answer the question, who is the Jote?
Ooh, take down here. They might not even need it.
Oh, that Rampager is huge. Crowley's going to die to just the bleed. Oh, what a knife by Kellen. Look at this guy go. Like 5 kills, just like that in a blink of an eye.
Today's the Titans' day. They're going to do it.
The Vancouver Titans have done it. They found their first win in over a year.
Vindane following up on those kills and pushed all the way back to the spawn room again.
With the qualifiers wrapped up, we headed into the Summer Showdown tournaments for each region. Where the East teams competed online once again, the West teams travelled to Toronto for the first ever Overwatch League event in Canada.
We have 8 of the very best teams in the Western region of the Overwatch League converge here in Toronto.
He stays alive. The Rampage from Hanbin hits 4 of the Shock, but Fuel barely
Takes one shot, beat from Lee Gon. Smurf goes down. Doesn't need the headshots, the bodies are enough, but he uses one for Stalker, uses one for Vindame! Oh, Lip!
Bob was deployed to the point, but Decay from long. Oh my! You cannot be serious, Decay!
Ladies and gentlemen, look at him go! Whoa!
They're doing so much with so little, I'll be honest with you. This is unreal!
Bakilo and an unbelievable ult from Kalush. He hits 4 members of the Vancouver Titans, piling on the pressure. 4 kills for the Junker Queen.
The Dragons will wait no more. They continue to stand as kings of this meta. They will take Circuit Royale and claim themselves a stage final.
And the House of the Dragons reigns supreme. The Shanghai Dragons are your 2022 Summer Showdown champions.
Here in the frigid north against all comers, the Dallas Fuel extinguished the competition. Take a bow, your Summer Showdown champions. And Hanbin, I mean, he's made for the Junker Queen, and the Fuel are made for the throne.
So, where are we now? Currently, we're in the final weeks of the qualifiers for the Countdown Cup, where teams are making their final push to make it to the postseason. The final playoff teams will be determined in the first portion of the postseason, the Countdown Cup play-ins, where teams on the cusp will have their final shot at making the end of the year playoffs. These games are extremely important, as only 8 of the 13 teams from the West and 4 of the 7 teams from the East will make the trip to Anaheim for the 2022 playoffs. Once we have our final 12 teams, we'll have one last double elimination bracket to determine our 2022 Overwatch League champions. Bracket play with all 12 teams in a LAN environment will begin on October 30th and will culminate into the grand finals on November 4th. As we head into the most exciting stretch of the 2022 Overwatch League season, there's never been a better time to check out some of the incredible Overwatch 2 gameplay at the highest level. Will a team with a tournament win already under their belt bring home the championship, or will an underdog make a bracket run? Will Kiriko, who enters the fray in time for the playoffs, make a big impact on the meta? Which players will make their mark in Overwatch League history? Stay tuned to everything Overwatch League to keep up with the action and see how our 5th season concludes.
And we are back. Not too long of a break there. Didn't want to keep you guys waiting too much, because now it is time to go into our final series of the play-ins. That's right, it's the Chengdu Hunters, recently coming off that victory there over the Guangzhou Charge. Nice little reverse sweep for them, going up against the Hangzhou Spark.
Fun fact, by the way, because we're in the lobby, Gaga says hi, Teru says Insane, Monkey, and Anna. So, you know, they've been paying attention, gassing them up. They knew what was up in that last matchup. True. Big true. Monk says thanks. Gaga says thanks as well. And look, it was what an impressive reverse sweep. Any reverse sweep you see is really, really fun to watch. It's a little sad for the team that gets reverse swept, but for the team that actually completes a reverse sweep, what an achievement. What an incredible achievement. And for Hunters as well, it was just about unlocking that other side of that coin. Like I sort of mentioned, you get Dorado, you play Gaga on the Winston, you're playing an effective dive from the first opening team fight in the neutral. You get Gaga landing on top of double support Xerneas and Farway instantly dead, and that did not change for the next 3 maps for the rest of the series at all. The Hunters looking like they're on fire, and you know, despite only going 2-4 in the Countdown Cup as a record compared to Charge's 4-2, that's why Charge is so much more favored. Hunters pull through in a miracle way off the back of Gaga coming in playing Winston, Lee being unlocked again to play his best heroes like the Tracer. Hunters are looking like a very, very dangerous team coming into this matchup versus Spark.
That they are, especially given that Spark have some sins to atone for after last week. They definitely have cast a hell of a lot of doubts, I think, on them based on the performances that we did see, based on the not touching of the points that happened at multiple occasions. But yeah, we'll have to just wait and see how they look today. Again, it has been a week of rest, a week of preparation. Yes, they did, but Chengdu are Chengdu, and they can get away with doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, I think that the count was something around 4 or 5 C9s across the series, which is just not acceptable whatsoever. So hopefully with this week off to go ahead and get prepared, they can, they will come into this one and look a hell of a lot better.
I stayed away from the broadcast, and Spark stayed away from the point. It works out. So now that I'm back, hopefully we'll both be attracted towards broadcast/point at the same time here. Look, Spark still have plenty to play through. I think that Spark it would be the most Spark thing in the world right now to make their own miracle comeback and win this matchup versus a very strong-looking Chengdu Hunters and get their way into the playoffs, because the Spark record is pretty damn good. I mean, when you look at their history, they were one of our best teams this year. I felt like on paper, sorry, not on paper, I felt like on the eye test, they were probably the strongest team represented from Eastern region in midseason madness, even though, obviously Fusion went further there. Spark had that phenomenal game versus Gladiators, which most people, next to the Glads Shock final, probably think that the Spark Glads game was one of, if not the best game of the season so far. We were obviously casting that one also. Spark since then have kind of been falling off because they're exactly right. That's which now this game would be good to do. Their record is 11-3, which is actually equal to the Fusion, 11-13. Right, two out of those wins were from these 2 last stages. 9 were from Kickoff Clash in midseason. So 9 out of 11 were from Kickoff Clash midseason. 2 out of 11 were from Summer Showdown and Countdown Cup. That's how poorly Spark have done in the latter 2 halves of the latter half rather of the entire season compared to the first half.
Well, let's go ahead
just to
and
put
take
into
a look
perspective.
at our let's just go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups to move away from that not great, not really inspiring figure that you just threw out there. But here we go. They should look pretty damn familiar because you just saw these guys for the last 3 maps of the previous series. This is the starting 5 for the Chengdu Hunters, and it seems like they've come to a similar conclusion that I would guess that most of the chat has probably come to, which is Gaga good. Yeah. So Gaga will be starting once again here for the side of Chengdu, and the onus is on Hangzhou Spark to pilot around him where Guangzhou Charge could not.
It's that bell curve meme, right? You know, the between 0 to like 90 IQ, Gaga good, and then in the middle it's like, oh, well, like I'm not, it's off technically, whatever, and then in the top half it's like from 100 to like 120 to 200 IQ. It's like, yeah, Gaga good, keep him in. Here we go. So this is what you need here. Gaga's winning. The dive looks great. The Winston was unpunished by the charge here, by the Guangzhou Charge. I wonder what Spark's response is going to be, because Spark have been running only one composition over the last couple of matches. Certainly the last match they played versus the Charge, they on all maps played, they only played, what was it again? Sombra, Tracer from Pineapple, and then the Diva, Zen Anna, I believe, was the composition, with no substitutions, no changes at all in the composition played. And if we look towards the Spark opening lineup, starting lineup here, I think they're just going to play the same thing, right? They're going to play Shy, Pineapple, Burner, Teru, Irony, I believe, is the starting five.
No.
Okay, like Super Rich is back in. Hello. Okay, return of the little cup, tiny teacup time.
It's been a minute, so Super Rich will be coming back in for the Hangzhou Spark, at least to start things off. We'll see if they decide to swap it up as we go along the series, but Bernard is going to be there as well. Curious to see what he's going to be running, because the whole last series pretty much just nothing but Diva, even though previously had been used very much as the Zarya specialist and has had some very strong performances on it. It was a hell of a lot of Diva from Bernard, and it didn't go so well. Not necessarily that Bernard is not an adequate Diva player, but just that the synergies, the staying on the point, everything was kind of collapsing for Hangzhou Spark. But now, as stated, it's time to wipe the slate clean. They come in here, widely the same roster, Super Rich making an appearance instead, coming back in. We'll have to see how they fare with this.
I wonder, maybe this is a bit of a swap-off to the Zarya composition, because if you think about what Super Rich's strengths are, he's most likely here for the Lucio. Lucio Bap or Lucio Anna are potential options for this team. Probably more Lucio Bap, because I don't think that Pineapple is traditionally a Genji player. His Tracer's been, I think Tracer plus Hitscan is
pretty much
been
exclusively
Tracer. Shy
from him.
Well, that's the thing, is Pineapple and Shy have a very similar hero pool, because they're both Hitscan players. None of the two Flex DPS plays between Architect or Alpha in for the Spark, so I don't think they're going to be playing Genji at all. Bernard can obviously go over towards the Zarya. Lucio Bap has been a pretty solid backline option for the Zarya to specifically pocket the Zarya, speed the Zarya in, lamp the Zarya if the Zarya gets low, and if Super Rich is in, he's clearly not going to be the guy playing your flex supports, because otherwise you'd play Irony Teru, wouldn't you? So I have to suspect that the Spark have changed up their strategy towards a Lucio Bap lineup.
Well, we'll see if that is going to be the case, or maybe they've invented something else during the little prep week that they have had to get ready for these play-in matches. The players are getting ready to go ahead and
Mercy
ready
Moira.
up so we can jump in. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Why not? That would be
Changun approved.
You know,
thumbs up.
Imagine if they did that and it became the new meta. We're like, oh my god, Mercy was good this whole time, and we just eliminated
Changun's a
Yveltal.
genius. Yeah.
And then we make the discovery that Mercy's actually the best support in the game currently, and Yveltal's already out.
And Nisha's like, thank God I'm still here. I can play some Mercy.
Very true. Would be a decent boon for him. But let's go ahead and take a look. Well, we finished on Oasis last time. We're going to go ahead and kick things off on Oasis this time around. And we'll see who is going to be able to kick things off with a map win under their belt. And, there's a pause on our screen. So,
yep.
I guess I'll turn my lights back
and we
on.
don't even get to see what they pick, so I'll get that to discuss. I got to say, though, I have to wonder if Shy is going to only play the Sombra, because his strength is still in the Sojin. I mean, that's been his ideal pick. That's been his signature pick. That was his, the infamous game versus Gladiators where he had like 80% rail accuracy or something ridiculous like that. Obviously, that accuracy has been nerfed now on the patch that we're playing on, which is actually not even a live patch for Overwatch 2. But Spark have some options. I think they have more options than the singular comp they played through the entire time. And it's not going to be the Junker Queen. At least I hope not. But also, it's
he's
the
been
Spark.
flashing it a lot.
I wouldn't. It's the Spark, so you'd never really know at the end of the day.
I'm wondering if we can go to the map 5 again. If we get all the way down to the wire, Hangzhou need one more map one more map win to go ahead and take it and get themselves into the playoffs, and then Changun just sums himself in. I'm playing now.
I don't think he's going to play a contract, so legally he can't. But I would love to, in a multiversal way, I would love to see that. But it is going to be the Lucio. I don't think Jake's going to play a contract this year either. I'm not too sure, but it's going to be the Lucio Bat lineup as predicted. Shy going to come through instant rail monk, so he's actually got to be back on Sojin too.
Yep, jump over the top. It's a little bit of extra tag there onto Gaga. Jinmu just staying as long as he possibly can while remaining safe. That's going to be the first lockdown going the way of the Hangzhou Spark. Looks like Jinmu had already pre-set up that extra escape route, so it does translocate away. Keeps his life intact. about 40% towards the EMP, but Hangzhou Spark first in control here on Garden.
And I think this is the thing about this matchup as well, is Hunters obviously warmed up, extremely warmed up. They just won on this map as well, as mentioned. They actually won this particular sub-map of Gardens. But Spark, they saw that. They know the exact strategy the Hunters are running. They know what they're up against. The first dive already, they kind of counter, or at least they got the opening back. Shy once again,
leave
on
now.
kill feed.
Dealt with. Shy having a good day. Never a good sign if you're on the opposing side. Granted, we have seen some strong starts from him, and then things have collapsed. Think back to the reverse sweep that Hangzhou Spark did suffer. But there you go. Nice little quick and easy cleanup for the side of the Spark. They force Jinmu out. Still just 73% away, or 73% towards that EMP. Shy keeping pace with him with the overclock, and Hangzhou Spark currently getting ready to move up over 50%.
And it certainly presents a different challenge as well when you're diving this backline, because you have the immortality field to deal with from Terra. You also have that very, very strong shift ability on the BAP, which can just instantly heal up your team. So Monk has to land some great bio nades here to stop that from happening. Terra nearly has window, by the way.
For that high ground pressure once more. Immortality field going to be forced out. Pineapple dashes down on the low ground. Gaga leaps back up top. Pulse bomb still being held. He sees Nisha on the flank. Gets tagged down to about 50 HP. Pulls back over to safety, but there's the EMP from Jinmu, and he catches 4. A massive one as the cleanup starts to come in. Pineapple going to be taken down, and it's looking like it's going to be a very flawless fight win here. Bubble will stop the hack, but Jinmu still gets the kill. Flip is there. Hangzhou Spark losing control, but do have 79% set up.
I mean, it's an EMP into a sleep dart as well, so Burnout just had no opportunity to bubble his team. They get wiped out, and the good news is they have 79%. Not uncommon. We've seen Chengdu Hunters start from behind, up against the charge in our previous maps on Control as well. 79 is a very big lead. The good news for Hunters is they only spend an EMP, so very cheap fight. If they want to snowball from here, they have 4 ultimates to play through. Spark have their own options. Super has just got the sound barrier. There should be a Nano Gaga fight, though, coming from Hunters.
Almost certainly. This one of the DPS or Nisha gets into a bad spot, and they need to try to keep him alive. Drop down there from Gaga, greeting them at the gateway. Pulse bomb lobbed in. This time, Leaf not going to be able to find the stick. Goes low. 24 HP gets a recall off, and Shy narrowly survives. The sound barrier coming in, not, just right on time. They keep in the fight. Overclock is rolling. He's looking for some targets, but so far the eliminations are not being found. Immortality field's going to be cleaned up. Grab does catch Gaga. They're trying to keep him sustained, and
he
actually works the treat. They managed to keep him alive, and then Shy is dead on the back end. Leaf gets in on top of the enemy soldier and finds the kill. And Gaga once more, now full HP, is looking to reaggress. Already cleaned up a kill on the Terror. Nisha was taken down off screen, but that's now Pineapple dead and dealt with. The Chengdu Hunters are going to be able to take the lead from here.
That is insane pocketing from Monk. Game after game, map after map. Monk just keeps Gaga alive. Gaga is unkillable in so many situations. That was unbelievable. Primal into the Nano, and Spark threw everything at Gaga. Failed to get him down. We're now 79 locked, both aside. Jinmu nearly onto another EMP. Terra has to open this with a window just to force the point open.
Gaga again getting tagged low. Window at the ready. Nisha as well falls down, but they keep him alive for now. Jinmu makes his exit. They give away the point. Hangzhou Spark, they're not that far behind. 9% now separating. EMP at the ready, however.
Should be double 99s.
Off to wait out the Amp Matrix.
EMP can win this burn our slap. This is the perfect time, and paused.
It's a perfect time for a pause, it would seem.
It is. Okay, well, hopefully it won't take too long to get back in the game, but, I mean, what do we have here? We have a slept burner. We have Jinmu looking to play in, Leave on a pulse, Monk on 80% as well. It's a lot of things good coming up online for the Hunters. The Amp Matrix has just been blown. No, Hunters respect the Amp Matrix, so they don't play into it. If Jinmu had the EMP early, I think they just directly dive on, because the EMP can actually cancel that the window. So for Hunters, I think they can accept a flip coming through with the Spark. Like I said, 99 to 99 likely here, given that Hunters can very likely cap. But if Hunters cap at all, they probably take the point and win the round, because Spark won't have time to come back to recontest. So really, this is last fight for both teams. Hunters do come in with more resources.
They do. I mean, the Pulse nearly at the ready as well. They're from Leave, just 7% off. Monk should be able to build a Nano unless he gets picked early, so eyes on Pineapple to see if he can weasel his way into the back line and find some value there. But not sure what's going on, but once we get word, we'll just keep you guys informed, and otherwise we'll hopefully be getting underway once more here relatively soon. It's been a
Yep.
pretty good
By
year,
the
I
way,
think,
Jimmy-
overall, as far as the tech pauses are concerned, at least on our end
Yeah.
over here in APAC. I mean, granted, we did have the one pretty big flub up, I suppose, where systems just kind of crashed and we missed the back end of a Junkertown map there with Shanghai. But aside from that, I think it's been pretty good.
Was that last weekend? It was, right? I was sat in a gamer bar. We have those in Australia. I was telling all the bar stuff to put
have
the games
those
on.
everywhere, my friend. It's not just Australia.
No, it's only Australia. Literally doesn't exist outside of Australia. You heard it here first.
Sorry, Guildhall, you don't exist anymore, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm sure Korea has none of those. Anyway, yeah. So we were watching the game in the bar, and then boom, it's just gone. I was like, oh, okay. There's no audio though, so I couldn't hear you, Trish, so I don't actually know what was going on. I think I might have sent you a
because
message.
you couldn't have heard us because there was no output going through. So
right,
we
right.
were desperate.
No, I just
we
meant
started
generally.
filling
I
some
meant
time,
generally. Yeah. I was quite keen for the LAN game. That looked like it was kind of fun. You had all the players on there. I hope Zest recovers. And then
yeah, no kidding.
I'm glad APAC finally got a LAN game. That was good.
Very good to see, especially one here on Korean soil, because we did have the few last season over in China and whatnot that were hosted, but it was good to have one back on Korean soil for a change, first time in a couple of years now. And I was telling Trid, if I wasn't casting the series right now, I would have been down there watching it live. But I got the next best thing, which was being able to go ahead and bring the action to people. And we had a really good series in that one, going all the way to 5. We also got Prophet playing Ana for Route 66, which was a bit of a head scratcher.
Didn't go well.
Didn't look great. But we're still waiting on a word here to see what the issue is and how long it's going to take. So I think we're still just
Leave just left the game, by the
now.
way. Just saw a little in the bottom left. Leave left the game. I thought it was quite funny. Anyway.
There we go. Well, it's, like I said, we've widely been pretty good about pauses, but now we're here at the end of this season, just about. We're getting ready to go into the playoffs properly. So, of course, the curse kind of had to catch up to me, and we had to have an extended pause. So this is just kind of what happens, but it is what it is. But as far as gamer bars go, since you were curious about that, there are a few. I might have actually taken you to one before, back in 2019 when we did the Gauntlet. I don't remember, but either way. Yes, exactly. But we can always do another pit stop back over there at some point when you come out here for my wedding ceremony, which is going to be fun. It's going to be a tight turnaround for that. Lots of festivities happening at the very beginning of November because we're going to have the finals, the playoffs, and everything. And then everybody's just going to be coming out to Korea, I guess.
Yeah, LA to Korea. I might take a bit of a Disneyland trip in the middle as well. That'll be fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Come out to Disneyland on the last day. No, it'll be the day after the last day, after the 5th of November. Come to Disneyland.
You could miss it. It's overpriced and not that great. But hey, if you've never been, go for it. Why not? You might be able to get some cheap tickets. But I guess it's worth going to since you've never been. But for people who just go every single weekend, I don't understand it because just like
it's because the
rides aren't that exciting.
You're talking about the staff.
The rides aren't that exciting, and once you've ridden on them a couple times, you're just like, magic's lost. If you're not a guy who's really big on like aesthetic, and like not a big like fan of like Disney IPs and whatnot, then one visit is probably enough to go ahead and tide you over. I'm more of like a Six Flags guy when it comes down to theme parks, Six Flags, Cedar Point, that kind of stuff, because it's just rides that go hard in the paint, some crazy stuff like King Nika over in New Jersey, tallest roller coaster in the world, etc., etc. I'm more in it for that rather than like, oh look, it's Buzz Lightyear. Like, I could do without it. I've never been that big. I like Toy Story, but I've never been that big of a Disney guy. Never seen Frozen. It just doesn't really appeal to me. Well, what I was going to say was, on the topic of my wedding ceremony, you know who actually has ghosted my invite, and I have reminded him of it after I sent it a couple times over on a Vast stream, is Super.
Okay.
Super. I don't know if you watch the league anymore. If you catch up on VODs or whatever, you want to see what's going on over here in APAC.
If he does, he doesn't watch. He probably doesn't watch this one, but anyway.
What the hell, man? He said he was excited because he'd never been invited to a wedding before. So I was like, boom. I've given you your first wedding invitation. It's going to be a good time. All the people are coming out and whatnot. Krusty's going to be there. Jester's going to be there. A bunch of people are going to be showing up. 9K, etc. And then Super's just like, you know what? I'm not going to respond. So you know what, Super? I don't want you there anymore. Your invitation is officially rescinded. You have 24 hours to get back to me and let me know whether or not you're coming. Otherwise, it's officially rescinded, and I will reject you at the door if you end up turning up without saying a damn thing. I'll be like, nope. Get on a plane, go back to making you millions of dollars streaming, you jerk.
I think we have
That's all I got.
potentially, while we're still chilling out, I don't know if we're going back into game. Oh, I think we are.
Looks like we are.
Potentially. Here we go. Is Lee returned? That's the big question for me. Because it did say he left, and if he had to reconnect, he would have lost his ultimate, but he's still here. OT.
OT is forced. There's the EMP pull from Jinmu, and Leave collapses in. They manage to find Super Rich. He does get taken down, Shy able to find one, but he's going to find so much more, but instead he's just going to find himself 6 feet under. Gaga cleans him up. Pulse bomb out from Pineapple, not going to get a damn thing done. It's just he and Bernard fighting. As the flip is there, they need to be able to extend this. Bernard cannot go down. Still trying to hold the doorway. The bubble comes in. He clears off that ante, but Gaga just stomps him out of existence. And that should just about be it, unless Hangzhou Spark can pull off a miracle. They do have the reinforcements coming through. Super Rich somehow able to find Jinmu. Pulls bomb out from Leave, not going to be able to find a stick. Doesn't find a kill. Turns his sights over to Teru once more, who does get stunned up, hit to the floor. Leave finds the elimination, but it's at the cost of their own brig. He shut down Shy, doing God's work for the side of the Spark. Manages to find both the supports, but Gaga pops the Primal, gets on top of him, finds the elimination. The OT forced out once more. Now recallless is Pineapple, but Bernard has re-arrived. 20% away from having that grab online. Super Rich here at the point, getting ready to be flipped. They're just about a quarter of the way there. The point going to be cleared out a little bit more. Now they get to half.
Look at those.
They continue to inch forward. The HP so damn low. The beat gets dropped in. Jinmu taken down. Pineapple lets loose with the pulse bomb. Not going to find an elimination, but he follows up on the Gaga. Finds the kill. Super Rich goes charging forward, looking to boot them off this point because the OT is going to plummet in a second, and it does. Hangzhou Spark with Pineapple and Bernard holding the point somehow managed to clutch it out. Shy comes back in, cleans up both supports, finishes the round by killing both supports again, and they take it. That's just the first round. Feels like it was the end of the series, honestly, because we're talking for so damn long. But man, Garden goes the way of the Spark.
That was a 4v2 at one point, and saw Hunters get a successful dive. The Primal was there. We see Gaga Goomba stomp on top of Burner, and you're thinking that's probably going to be it. Hunters have full control in here. There's no tank available for Spark. Shy comes back in. As you mentioned, he deletes the backline. He gets both of the supports there. Super Rich kills Jinmu as well. How does Spark clutch that? That was incredible coming on through. Wow. What a finishing.
That's just one of those moments.
But yeah, some part of me is like, that was kind of worth it. Some part of me was like, it did take a while to get to. But wow, what an ending.
And what a performance from Shy. 2 incredibly clutch kills, and the rest of the team playing around him just immaculately. So neck and neck to start things off. Let's see how we fare now that we're on City Center. As you mentioned in the previous series, Garden, a little bit of a toss-up for the Winston. City Center, though, in with a good shout.
Pineapple slam.
Gaga going to be taken down, but Pineapple was eliminated. Monk able to clean that one up, so it is a 1-for-1, but the front line broken down for the Chengdu Hunters, which puts that much more pressure on the back line, as well as on the DPS to be able to find some value here. But Hangzhou Spark should be nicely poised to be able to get the first lockdown once more.
Yeah, they're looking like they're in control. Burner surviving through the hack, as did Shy a little bit earlier on. Despite Pineapple going down, it doesn't seem like Spark have been too phased, and now Shy's going to have the opening pick.
Dead. Shy. Looking good again, slides forward. He's got a good amount of charge here for this rail. Trying to get line of sight onto somebody. He's going to swing out very wide. He'll try to put that through somebody's head, but doesn't happen. Chengdu Hunters just go ahead and concede it, so Hangzhou Spark get the first lockdown once more. Shy has now overstepped. Yep,
yeah,
he was off on that
too
flank.
far there. He went too far on the flank, and now Leave takes him down, so this gives Chengdu Hunters a 5v4. They have ultimates coming online as well. Monk is 90% and counting up Hunters in a beautiful position to get the flip in.
Pulse bomb out, not going to get anything done there, but I mean, it's just repeated melee hits through the shield. Nisha just continuously getting bopped on the face. Does end up dying, but Taro and Super Rich end up getting cleaned up here, so it seems like a fairly fast split with the side of the Chengdu Hunters. It's 33% gets established by the Hangzhou Spark. Pulse bomb from Leave will go ahead and finish the job into Bernard. Pineapple tags back in, just looking to extend this as much as possible. Actually does find a cleanup kill. But as he goes down, that will just be the Hangzhou Spark finally displaced and the Chengdu Hunters gaining control.
And Gaga will come back in pretty quick succession as well, so, you know, Spark not going to be able to use that final kill from Pineapple, who, by the way, was slept by Monk. I think twice in a row now on this particular round, he's just been slept up. Monk has been hitting some disgustingly good sleeps, whether it's on Sombras or Traces even. Double support ultimate's about to be online. Sorry, in fact, already online for the Hangzhou Spark here. Tempo beat could be the play. Jinmu in position to drop the EMP. Jinmu's EMP location, very important here if he can catch both the backliners.
Shy under some pressure, now going to be antied out. Bernard seemingly not available to give him a bubble, but Shy does manage to just go ahead and stay alive. Window's going to be coming through the primal pop by Gaga. He's instantly chunked down to about half HP. Overclock rolling. Shy wants to get into a more aggressive spot to try to find some kills. Swings the corner, but goes just over Jinmu's shoulder. So unable to find the elimination. Tied up now, Chengdu Hunters take the lead. Nisha spotted, just gets chunked out, but does not fall. EMP infested, manages to find 3 super hits, drops. The beat is going to be antied out as well as Terror. The shield keeps the majority of them alive as Bernard is able to find both the DPS players on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Mortality field now dealt with. Bernard still under siege. Desperately needs a bubble from himself, but cannot get one. Doesn't have it off cooldown, and Super Rich is going to be cleaned up. So Hangzhou Spark, they invest heavy to try to get this fight flipped, to get this point under their control, but Chengdu Hunters managed to persevere.
Yeah, Gaga and the total support's alive, keeping him up. Hunters 75% and counting. I didn't quite see it, but I think Gaga's bubble might have blocked some sound barrier targets. Super Rich only dropped the beat on himself and Teru, so could have been Gaga just blocking LOS through the shield there. Pulse is going to miss due to the bubble coming on through. It's 90% now, potentially.
Take it down once more. Gaga and the supports were able to win out last time. This time they do have Jinmu here, still playing along with them, but he's getting pressured out of the back line. Pineapple trying to keep him honest as best as possible. Pulse bomb at the ready. Gaga likely aware of this, goes jumping away. Pineapple goes up into the space, throws it, but it clips onto the bubble, doesn't find the kill. Super Rich narrowly kept alive. The immortality field perfectly placed by Teru keeps him in the fight. Now that's going to expire. Again, the Nano Primal coming through from Gaga, just looking to try to get a corner here onto somebody, but actually displaces Teru all the way up into the front lines. He's able to be focused down. Nisha with a shield bash finds the elimination. Now Pineapple going to be dealt with. Shy going low. The sound barrier comes in from Super Rich to try to keep them in this fight. Bernard finds one before going down the Nisha whip shot. And Shy, yeah, just this time around, not going to be able to clutch it out. Ends up getting dropped. And the Chengdu Hunters, after a bit of extended cleanup, will be able to take this into a third and final round of Oasis. University will decide it all.
I mean, what a monster. Gaga, once again, is just unkillable. He's basically invincible on the city center map. Always has angles to jump away from. Bubble timings are brilliant. Monk pocketing him beautifully. I mean, just doesn't allow him to die. Monk himself barely pressured every single time Spark trying to dive on top of Monk. It doesn't matter. He has a sleep dart. Pineapple repeatedly slept by this Ana player from the Chengdu Hunters. And because Shy is not on another dive here, he can't follow up those dives. It's only Pineapple going the backlines. Bernard's on Azaria. He can't go in either. So the backline of Chengdu Hunters kept very safe there, and even with Jinmu and Leave down, a very critical fight. Only Gaga and support plays alive, and the Hunters still win it. However, Achilleos, as I mentioned in the previous series with the Chengdu versus Charge, this is the round that is favored for Zarya. So Spark, if there's a way to take home this opening Oasis, it will happen on University.
Carrying on now. See who can go ahead and take this first map. Things off with a bang. Hunters right now occupying the high ground, maintaining control. Pineapple looks at his placement, just chipping away where possible. Eventually they will have to jump out of this position, and Gaga's already going to go ahead and do just that. Leaps forward. Jinmu joining him. Chengdu Hunters nearly get the lockdown at the point. As Pineapple goes ahead and dashes away, they will be able to take it for themselves. But Jinmu caught. Bernard finds that elimination. Hangzhou Spark maybe just thinking, try to go ahead and get this quick flip. Gaga drops down into the pit, leave sliver of HP remaining for him. Recontest comes through. They look for Shy, but Gaga ends up paying the iron price. Rail at the ready, looks for Nisha there. Shy unable to find the elimination, but the flip will come through. 18% set up for the Chengdu Hunters.
And the problem there is when Gaga leaves for the Mega Pack below into the pit, his team suffers map control. Hangzhou Spark get to push on forward. They're obviously ignoring Gaga in the pit. He jumps out, is instantly focused. The rest of the Hunters not in position to support Gaga anymore. So instant flip over. Jim with the opening pick onto Pineapple. 5v4 here. Good opportunity for the Hunters. And Nano coming online.
Good opening pick. Starts stepping forward. Bernard now moves in. Low HP there onto Gaga. They can't get the finish. He drops into the pit. The Nano comes out. He's waiting for the leap cooldown to come back up. He's already lost 2 members. Teru has fallen on the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but Monk and Jinmu now out of the fray. Gaga does not have the primal.
Yeah.
As he tries to get out, he cannot. Shy denies him a retreat. And it's now 40% plus here for the Hangzhou Spark.
That's just a mistiming there. I mean, what you see there is Gaga didn't know the Nano was coming on in, so he went for the Mega Pack. Had he known, if they communicated that, maybe it was difficult to communicate because Monk's like, he's not too sure if he's going to get it either. But had the Nano just come on through, Gaga doesn't go for the Mega, he stays in play with the Nano following up. He doesn't have to wait in the pit for 5 seconds to get his jump back, and that would have been a very different fight. But however, in this case, the Nano ends up being wasted.
Getting hounded down there by Pineapple, still under pressure in the back line. The sound barrier has to be used by Nisha just to try to keep everybody alive. Overclock rolling from both of the Sojourns. So far, no one coming up with a kill. Mortality Field's going to be taken down, but there's the grab from Bernard. Gets the catch here on to lead. The pulse bomb going to be invested as well for the Big Bang combo.
Jinmu Hero
and that's
Blade.
Gaga dead. Now Jinmu, yeah, he pulls the Hero Blade, but it's going to get absolutely nothing done. He goes down, the flip back into their favor. Hangzhou Spark once again regaining control. All ults basically invested in that fight, but in the meantime, Taro has been building up towards another Amp Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, this is just such a hard map for Gaga to play on, so much more punishable. He's dying a lot more now. I mean, he's nearly doubled his deaths from just the previous 2 rounds combined. We're looking at 99% here for the Hangzhou Spark. They can finish this one with the window. Teru can play maximum distance. There's no Nano play here because Jinmu already burned it. No,
I knew,
no touch.
I knew it was going to happen. Saw it coming from a mile away. Here we go, boys. We are back in the zone. Let's kick things off. Map 1
Chung
goes
done it
away
again.
to Hangzhou Spark. They have Chung damn done it again. They do not touch. They do not let us know what could have been in the follow-up fight. Hangzhou Spark will go ahead and take map number 1. Granted, I think they were poised to do it all the same. But here we are.
Yep.
It begins.
And really, to me, the real swing map, once more, it has to be the Gardens. That's a 50-50 one between the 2 styles of play that we saw here. And the final fight, which, you know, again, we waited eons for, ended up going the way of Spark off the back of a clutch. Chengdu could have won that one. They had the 4 versus 2. They had the Goomba Stomp kill to Burnout, which also secures them a 5v4 for the final recontest. Spark off the back of Shy, double kill into Monk and Niche on the back line, secure it. And because they got the swing map, they get the other one as well that was important, which is the University. Spark were favored to win that one. They get a 2-1 score.
Well, Chad's going to have fun with that one when it comes around, but yeah. Anyway, map 1 out of the way. Chengdu Hunters, they now have their map selection. We'll see where they elect to take us for Hybrid when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere, guys. This final play-ins match here for the APAC region continues in just a few. back. Some things happened. Map 1 occurred, and now we're going into map number 2. Chengdu Hunters have their selection as we get ready to go into hybrid, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's going to be Paraíso coming up to see if they can tie the score.
And we'll talk about the substitutions here as well. Burner is actually out for Gushui, so we're going to have some Winston versus Winston action. The call is made that we are basically going to mirror, we being the Spark side of things, going to mirror the Chengdu Hunters. I would have actually said Burner staying would have been fine. A lot of tank players end up playing D.Va on this particular map. Zarya is not bad, especially on the C point, but D.Va kind of dominates A and B. But, you know, Spark's particular readers, they want to match the Winston. And honestly, I don't hate it because traditionally, Gushui's been one of the best Winstons in history. I mean, I still personally have him on my Mount Rushmore of Winston players next to, you know, the Mirror and Gestures of the world. This is going to be a very interesting matchup now because I don't think there's been any other substitutions. We could be looking at a Lucio Ana kind of composition here, maybe Brig Ana as well. I do think both teams need to run an Ana here to support their Winstons. Monk has been a ridiculously good Ana so far over the course of 2 series, so that will remain.
Yeah. That it will. So we'll see if Chengdu Hunters, if this is going to be enough for them to go ahead and get themselves on the board, or if they're going to have to reverse sweep once again to get themselves into the playoffs. Definitely don't want to be in that position now. So we'll see if they can tie it up 1-1. As mentioned, Paraíso is going to be coming up next. We'll see if that can be the staging ground for a tied set. Hangzhou Spark, though, have been looking incredibly good. I mean, that clutch from Shy in particular on the first round of Garden was just absolutely immaculate. That's one of those ones to very much look back on is some of the, you know, craziest clutches in history. You know, not going to be at the top of the list, but it'll definitely make the list.
Profit Pulse Bomb in the kickoff clash on Elio's Lighthouse versus the Shanghai Dragons is definitely right up the list for me. Yeah. But Shy do be doing some incredible stuff in the server, and he's looking out there saying, yeah, that's right, I might not have gotten the MVP nod. Maybe he should have gotten the MVP nod, who knows? I'm kind of done with that topic now anyway, as Shy, in any case, is going to be as dominant as ever on the Sojin when possible. And it kind of makes me think, like, you know, why he was even playing so much Sombra last week and the week before. Clearly for Spark it wasn't really working, so go back to basics here. Jump back on the horse that got you here in the first place, which for Shy easily is the Sojin.
Yep, just sticks with it here for this defense. Chengdu Hunters, they're like Jinmu out the gate with the Genji. So maybe no Sombra here, unless they decide to change it up, but they should know pretty much exactly what they're going to be getting.
It means, I think this means it's easier for Jinmu to capitalize on leave shots. But I do think for Paraíso attacking A, you know, having the Sombra, having the Tracer allows you to put pressure on the point a lot easier to alleviate the defensive positioning here on the high ground. This can be a very difficult position to get past for the attacking team.
A mild contest here from Gaga, leaps forward, forces Shy's position for now. Shots coming out. It's Teru just gonna keep everybody alive. Jinmu already gonna get picked. Super Rich finds the kill. Looks like Jinmu was just trying to solo contest the high ground. Gaga was not alongside of him. Now goes leaping across the opposite side, just zapping away where possible. Anti out into both of them, but Misha's actually gonna be the one who finds an elimination. Shy now taken down. Monk able to stay alive as well. Man advantage and a long run back for Shy. See if you can get back in here before the Chengdu Hunters really start to occupy the point, because the contest is getting ready to come through as they continue to just inch forward step after step.
I mean, Spark just lose ground here. I mean, that's the trade-off, right? You have 4 versus 5. You don't want to fight that, so you have to give up ground. Wait for Shy to come back in. Gaga's, by the way, almost on towards Primal. He's got it now.
Oh, he does. He's looking for the knock off the side of the map. Not quite able to line that one up now. Is going to be looking to get Super Rich as well. Gets the hit, the shield bash. Oh, he can't quite make it over the ledge. And there you go. After a little extended animation, he ends up falling down. Pineapple, in the meantime, manages to find both the supports, and Gushui got leave. So it's still going to be going the way of the Hangzhou Spark. Gaga solo contesting, but he's going to have to try to make his exit. Now he's going to be anteed up. He should be going down for a little bit of an added stagger, so not even a single tick going to be garnered here for the Chengdu Hunters.
Wow, Pineapple really clutched up there, but so did Teru as well, right? Because Gaga got the earlier Nano. Sorry, Gaga got the earlier Primal, but Teru got the earlier Nano. Monk still doesn't actually quite have it. 99% now. Teru responds to the Primal by just instantly nanoing Gushui. They trade backlines, and Pineapple more successfully so. Gaga fails to get both targets off the map. He only found Super Rich, and then he got slipped right afterwards. Chengdu Hunters now reset, but they have a Nano Blade available. No rally yet for Super Rich.
jump in. Bionet goes out, does clip on the Teru. Couple shots flying. Gushway getting pressured low, pops the Primal, and Leaf gets a headshot on the Pineapple. Now the blade is going to be pulled out. Shy taken down. There's no damage left to try to deal with this one. The Jinmu should just be able to feast, and he does. Yeah, gets the read, knows exactly where Super Rich is going to end up after the shield bash. And Chengdu Hunters will just go ahead and dump everything they've got. We'll go ahead and take the first point. So A, about to be theirs, as Gushway is still not respawned.
Totally worth as well. I mean, it's a 3 versus 2 ultimate trade there. With Hangzhou Spark also burning the Primal Rage. Yeah, Primal Rage there. As we, 3:45-ish kind of time walking on through B and C. Pretty reasonable. Overclock coming up for both teams the next fight. Positioning first and foremost for the Chengdu Hunters. Spark. Don't think they're going to go for too much of an early contest. That is a pulse bomb from Pineapple, though. A little bit optimistic. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, Leave just loosely tracking his position, slides away. Quick little hop, manages to elude it. Super Rich trying to keep Gaga from getting in on that flank angle for now. It's like
Shy loses
gonna
rail
call
charge.
for Shy to join in. Gets his way over. Obviously, slower build time off those bubbles and shields now, so not really going to be able to build up a rail.
Pineapple
Takes a nasty
stalling.
shot from Leave. Okay, overclock pop. Shy instantly finds Leave. Helps chunk down Nisha. That should be the cleanup coming through. Is final tag on the Monk. He'll be the last one to die. A team kill for the side of the Hangzhou Spark and some cart control.
A really fast combo, right? The Nano Clock coming in through. Teru and Shy combining there for the Spark just to jump in, get some frags, catch Chengdu off guard. No other ultimates available for Hangzhou, so they spent what they had. And they don't even allow Chengdu to sort of get around to the corner of that green roof, that very important green roof that the defensive teams always seem to be able to hold. Hunter's turn to get something done. I don't believe Monk will spend this Nano to leave. It should maybe go towards Jinmu. That being said, though, Shy got a lot done on his Nano Clock. We're about to reach that corner now.
I don't mind it either way. Leave's never really a bad target to try to invest that ult onto. But with the blade just 20% away, I think it would make sense to try to wait this one out, just poke and prod where possible. Already Hangzhou Spark is giving up a decent amount of space, but Gushway just goes ahead and comes in to recontest this. It's taken down low.
Well, Leaf's going in.
Primal now popped, and that's just going to be the cleave down. Jinmu finding one. Gaga helping just go ahead and lock down the others. So Nano's still going to be held. The overclock gets some value. And that's an immense amount of space broken open now for the Chengdu Hunters. They might not even have to invest too much else to really
I think they're going to have
cap
to.
Coming in.
Well, Spark will get a recontesting. I think Spark will go for it. And because they go for it, the Nano Blade almost has... Are they going to go? Yeah, they are. Because the Nano Blade might have to be burned here. Gushway probably primals in time, right?
Okay, they do go for it. The dash is still held. Gets on top of Shy. Cuts him down. Looks for a little bit more. Tries to cancel the rally from Super Rich. He stays alive for a little bit longer. Yep. Whip shot keeps him at distance. Dive in. Gushway looking for a little bit of extra kills coming through, but has overstepped now. Leave manages to shut him down. Sleep Dart connects here onto Gaga, and somehow they don't wake him up, but it doesn't matter. As Leave has to clean up onto both supports. Cap now is in. 2.5 minutes remaining for the Chengdu Hunters as they go on the final stretch.
That probably cost too much for the Spark. I mean,
Shy's
it's still a 2
die.
versus 3 trade, and still you'd have to say that Hunter spent one extra ultimate to the Spark, but the goal for the Spark there was that they just wanted Hunter to spend overall. And ideally, Spark still get to hold some of their own ultimates. I feel like they got into a position where they felt like they started to win, so okay, spend a bit extra. We can actually win this fight, maybe get a hold on top of B. We mostly are able to block out Jinmu's blade.
Oh,
the trade here now comes out with Gushway, but yeah, Teru gone.
Yeah, Gushway is trying to get something done here, but now the healing is significantly cut down, has to retreat. Goes back over to join in with Super Rich. The nade from Shy will find Jinmu, but Chengdu Hunters just going to go ahead and continue with the push. Getting the card around the second to last corner now. Gushway still waiting to go ahead and get top back up so he can try to re-aggress once more. Shy does have the pacing for the overclock. He's going to need to find some value with that once it's available, and already he's getting tagged down low, and Gaga snipes him out of the air!
That's huge. Extra kills here as well. Lee gets on top of Gushway.
Well.
Spark have to fall back. Spark have to reset right now. If they lose any more players, they're just going to get staggered out. Pineapple, late death. Look at the payload push. It's getting towards the final corner now. Another late
now
death.
They're just going to get locked into the spawn room doors, pushed up against it. Gaga cleaves down two. Says, yeah, Gushway, I know you're known for the Primal Blade. You basically invented the term. But he shows him how it's done. 2 quick cleanups. Pineapple dead. Overclock pop now by Leave. Gushway tries to keep this contested, but yeah, the blade comes out, and that is just going to be it. A minute remaining. Chengdu Hunters, they get to the end in style.
Shy dies 3 times in that fight. 3 times. Chengdu Hunters, they snipe him out. Gaga gets the first kill on top of him. Or was it Leave, maybe? Can't remember. No, Leave got Gushui. Gaga got the kill to Shy. Shy respawns twice in that fight and dies 2 more times. Not saying it's his fault, but I am saying Spark failed to regroup. They failed to just reset as a team. I don't care if you have to dive back into spawn. You cannot contest with 3 players alive after Gushui and Shy are both dead. Gaga gets the most beautiful primal corner trap that you've seen, collects a couple more frags. Hangzhou Spark repeatedly just dive members out one by one, trickling onto the payload. And there's no win condition there. You're literally just come out one by one and dying. Epitomized by the fact that Shy died 3 times in the course of 1 fight. And they never got a defense because Spark failed to reset.
And we have seen time and time again, we have to bring it up time and time again, that you get the shutdown on a Shy, and that is a very good boon for you when you're playing against the Hangzhou Spark. We saw how instrumental he was on the first map to be able to get that win. And if he can continue to get shut down by the Chengdu Hunters, they are going to be looking very good to go ahead and tie this up at 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, Shy is having a lot of impact. I actually think that Spark, had they managed to get Shy's overclock off in a better position, pretty winnable final defense there. The Hunters will get it done. 1 minute left in the time bank there as well, which is really important because this kind of means they avoid any sort of draw scenarios that could be applied later on. And Spark once again will do the Sojin Tracer combo. Chengdu will respond with the same. Jinmu does not start out on Genji for the defense, prefers the Tracer to go 1-to-1 with Pineapple.
Alright, early recall used. He takes a chunk. Pineapple just continuing to spray out where possible, trying to close the distance here onto the members of the Chengdu Hunters. Nisha down low. Gushui finds the kill, but Shy and Teru both get picked now. Super Rich as well in danger of dying. Gushui, sure, he'll stop Monk out, but now they lose out on Super Rich, so it's later trading.
Chengdu are in the Spark spawn.
That they are. Leaf does fall. Pineapple going to continue to try to farm up here where possible. Jinmu, low HP, continues the kite back, should be able to get some healing. I'll focus fire Gaga first and foremost, though, and that's a minute gone.
Look at the respawns. This
should be able to get the reset.
Oh, they are, but they have to give up space. This is the sad thing for the Hunters as they push up so far, leaving Gaga. Maybe Jinmu's all literally in the spawn of the Spark. And now Spark have better respawn positioning, so they get to have the forward positioning now. Super Rich and Teru did get by there, but they're fine. And look at the surround now. Spark, they're even capturing high ground on the opposite end.
Gushui just holding it where possible, but they still need to be able to contest the point. They dive in, they're looking for Nisha, and they will get him. Pineapple cleans it up. Now Monk, left in a bad spot, gets taken down in the back line right now. The Hangzhou Spark looking alive and well. Jinmu only able to find Shy. Now Leave dealt with. Jinmu still around. The pulse bomb not going to find any value. That's going to be the Hangzhou Spark starting to get the cap rolling.
Does Gaga try and delay this with the Prime will be a very expensive way to allow the rest of the Hunters to come back in for a final contest. Now they have 2 ticks they can give away. This is the moment now. Gaga does pull. That means Hunters are committed to this fight. They are going to play for the final contest.
Still not contesting though. Second tick is going to be grabbed up despite the primal from Gaga. He's still just trying to harass him on the back lines, I suppose. But
Monk's dead.
Monk is going to be taken down. No nano to be found. Nisha jumped on. Whip shot. Keep him alive for a little bit longer. Leave here to try to peel. 18 HP remaining. Gushui does end up falling. Gaga jumps away. Jinmu, however, still playing the point. Keeps this one contested, so it's not done yet.
Wow.
Leave now. Overclock. Popped. Manages to find one. Slides in. Looks for a little bit more. Shy shuts him down. Overclock of his own. Nearly online. And with Gaga falling, that should just be the end of the contest. And yeah, Shy will go ahead and clean up 3 kills for himself. Overclock not necessary. It looks a little bit scary there. It looked like Chengdu Hunters was going to do the Hangzhou Spark what the Hangzhou Spark did to them over on Garden. But now it's going to be 3 minutes and 40 seconds as they can get the cart rolling.
And the missing piece of the puzzle there for the Chengdu Hunters was the nano, because Monk unfortunately dies at 99, tragically. I think Gushui hunted him down with the Primal as well, mispositioned Monk because the Primal just buffets him around. And without the extra nano, Hunters don't have the capability. Look, Leave really put up a great fight there, but Shy proves why he's the better Sojin. Not just in this matchup, but maybe just generally speaking across all Sojin players. 3:13 remaining for the Spark now, but a great opportunity to move on forward. Overclock and Live. Could be running soon, should be running.
Drop down Teru, dead. Gaga with a nice kill. They're trying to stop Super Rich.
Super Rich lives.
Let's get a little bit of extra HP, so the rally still continues. Pineapple with Pulse not going to be able to find an elimination. As nice shot from Leave will go ahead and shut down the enemy Tracer. Space again. Found for the Chengdu Hunters as they keep the cart locked in position.
Bit of stall here. Slow down. No matter what happens, I mean, Hunters have been able to bleed that timer down by nearly a minute now. The payload is not bad, though. It's actually pushed up a Ringsable mount with Gaga dead. Hunters actually have to force a fight here, or they got to back out. They have ground to give up. They can play for a final contest.
No assists on that one either. I'm not quite exactly certain what occurred, but Gaga dead is a big boon for the Hangzhou Spark. The clock is still at the ready here. Leave. Getting zapped, tagged down lower and lower. The heals do come through. Now the rally going to be pop shy. Collapsed upon. Bionade comes in. Terror able to keep him alive. Overclock is in, and Jinmu is out. Gaga now primal going to be used. Jumps over to the side, but still having just struggles. Trying to find a target to isolate. Leaf goes sliding over to the side. Rail still held. Shy gets him in the head, takes him down. Gushwei now going to be nanoed up. Jumps back over, finishes off Gaga. And that should be the Hangzhou Spark gliding their way into point B. Monk just harassing around the backside, but needs to go ahead and reset. And we'll get finished off by Shy. I think he's trying to jump off the side of the map, is unable to do so. Now 3 minutes to finish here for Hangzhou.
Shy Sojin is back, baby, and it's back on fire as well. That was some fantastic stuff coming through from the star DPS of the Hangzhou Spark. Pineapple as well, getting active in that kill feed as a couple of late deaths on the Chengdu Hunters will slow down their ability to get a fight going on the C defense. Now, 1 minute is the target for the Hangzhou Spark, and they have about 1:45 to play through to match that, which is plenty to work on. Nano successful. Shy with another opening pick.
Huge. It's going to be the go button. Leave. Nanoed up, the nano clock coming through, pulse bomb dropped down on the floor, and Pineapple's just going to be able to finish the kill. They did find Shine for his trouble during that time, so it's not without cost, but now Gaga antied out, Monk low on HP, finished off as the shots come through. Taro again just has Gaga's number. The cart can advance once more. 2 ults still held. Chengdu Hunters, the well is running dry.
And Spark still have plenty to play through here. Primal, Rally, they have more ultimates coming online. Shy's going to overclock again. This is potentially a great time.
Could be another nano
2
clock.
minutes still remaining. We're onto the final corner here. Like you said, maybe even the nano clock Hunters, they need an instant pick. They need to buy time for Gaga to find this Primal as well. That's a pick.
Pineapple. Yep, good pick coming in. Gushwei still in a bit of an off position. Riley's committed to the fight by Super Rich. Seems like they do want to continue here, but now Primal going to be popped. Gaga slept, or rather Gushwei slept. Gaga and
Nano Blade. Nano Clock,
dives back in, looking for a little bit more. Doesn't get any eliminations though, but there's the Nano Clock, and Shy instantly comes up with 2. Now a third as Jinmu falls. Has to reload, jumps up over the top. He's looking for Leave, and he will be able to get him in the end. 4 kills for Shy. Monk dead. There's the team kill, and they cannot respawn fast enough. So it's a 23-second advantage at the end of it all for the Hangzhou Spark.
Beautiful stuff coming through. That's the combo you're looking for. Spark, they poured all their money on the Shy Horse so far. I mean, we saw that in mid-season Madness. We saw how good it was. Put the Nano on top of Shy. He will deliver you results. 4K on the Nano Clock. Doesn't get the ace, but Super Rich gets the kill anyway. More important, to get that final good time, whatever time that is. Let's take a look at Shy's 3K that he got on this A-point attack as well. Getting rid of Leaf, getting rid of Gaga. Niche is trying to do some damage, not going to be enough. And really is just the Shy Sojin show. I mean, Leaf's done some pretty good stuff as well, but it's mostly Shy carving through the Hunters, allowing Spark to get this time.
Yeah, I mean, Shy is really putting his foot down. Hangzhou Spark, slight little advantage as they will be starting on this defense. Only a minute to work with for Chengdu. We saw them very much struggle initially to get themselves into a position to take this point A. They need to be concise if they want to have a shot at this. Otherwise, granted, only a minute and 23 on the other side. This could very well end up being a draw at the end of it all.
I mean, that would be funny. After our extremely long pause, you throw out a draw in there. I mean, what else could happen today? We're going to map 6. Bring it on. Final day of APAC here in play-ins. I mean, after this, the rest of the broadcast shifts to NA. We're going to LA.
Day. Yeah, it's a final day of APAC, period.
Yeah, this entire year. Well, welcome. You're here. You're live. Final day APAC, and we already had a great game to start out with. Opening fight now for the Hangzhou defense. Chengdu attack on the time bank. Gaga
going to be slept. Shouldn't really be able to get too much off the back end of this one. Shy is going to be slept as well, and Jinmu finds the kill. Pineapple low on HP. Needs to keep himself alive, needs to find some value. Jinmu gets the corner there on a Super Rich. The dive comes back in, he re-aggresses, the cleanup is there. Pineapple's like, guys, I got Taro. And now there's no supports. Reset off the side of the map. Gushue knows that this one is done. All right, an OT push now for Chengdu Hunters to see just how far they can take it.
I mean, for 1 minute, that's pretty good stuff. Really puts the pressure onto the Spark. They need to do at least the same Monk with an early kill to Pineapple. That is going to really put Spark down in the dumps. I mean, sure, there's a bit of early cap that you have to get through, right? This kind of Vol float has to kind of push through the archway, so Pineapple is going to respawn. It does allow the Hunters to get some early positioning on these rooftops. And it's a one boon of getting Pineapple down early.
Well, they'll make it through the initial gateway. Everybody from Hangzhou playing quite far back.
What is Gushue doing? Look at him. Just snuck his way
jumping
in.
forward. They go in with it. The pulse bomb stick is good. Nisha going to be taken out. Leave going to be antied out. That expires now. Gaga just trying to inch forward, trying to keep this thing contested. The bubble comes in. And Gushue just inserts himself straight into the thick of things. Pineapple finds one. Jinmu eliminated. Gaga now going to be primal. Going to be nanoed. Gushue going to be antied out. His primal expires. Gaga takes a hell of a lot of damage. He botches himself on the archway, ends up going down. Nisha antied out. Super Rich going to be the only casualty so far on the side of the Hangzhou Spark that does get the rally out of the fight. His Taro will also die, but that's the cause of Monk. Blade pulls Jinmu. It needs to be massive. Dives into the back line.
Oh, no.
But then can't get back over to the cart in time to keep it contested. So he's only able to find Shy, and I don't think he was going to be able to deal with Gushue all the same. So he goes for it, but you still have to say decent. Considering the minute start, Chengdu Hunters, they at least get the cap.
Well, it does mean that, you know, a full hold on A can be, well, it has to kind of be how Chengdu win. I don't know if they can really do this if Hangzhou get the A cap, because the circumstances of Hangzhou's ability to recontest there is the fact that, okay, sure, they lose Pineapple, but they regroup pretty quickly. You know, we're looking at OT sort of situations here. Gushue is kind of, you know, he's sneaking his way like a sneaky assassin around the rooftops there, just dropping down on top of the payload, have his jump and his bubble, has everything available, all cooldowns. And there was actually a really critical timing fight there as well, where Monk and Gaga nearly went down, but Monk barely drops a nano on top of Gaga, who then barely used the nano to find a primal, extending the fight. Jinmu finds a blade, eventually comes in late, but he's doing his best to try and charge it up. I actually think if there was one more player alive, if Jinmu is able to get back to the payload, get a slash on top of Pineapple and get that kill as well, there's a chance for him to potentially play that 1v1 versus Gushue. I don't think he wins the 1v1, but he buys time for his team to come back in, to assist, connect on the payload, and continue the push.
I do agree. But now it's just all about how Chengdu pilot this defense. Only change, Jinmu starts things off with the Tracer, not going to be on the Genji. Pineapple getting tagged low right off the rip.
And again, this is what Hunters did on their defense initially anyway in regulation time, right? Jinmu's there to contest Pineapple because they know that Pineapple is going to go for it.
They're playing the split once more. They try to get themselves right in between the Hangzhou Spark members after the dive, and it's working a treat. 3 kills. Gushue slept Pineapple. Uses a very quick recall. Actually, the opposite side of the bubble. He's trying to play around this one, but he's got nowhere to go. Pineapple and Gushue end up falling. The first volley going to be staved off. Chengdu.
Yep.
They should be able to get their full 5 back together.
Yeah, they will, because they got some extra kills there. Nisha died early, right? So because Nisha's already running his way back, Hangzhou Spark are only getting their 5 now. There'll be another 5 versus 5. Hunters taking some risks, right? They're going for the full 5-man dive. Last time they got punished for that. This time they will succeed. And now we're looking towards Ultimates. Ultimates should be coming online as we hit the OT. Whoever gets them first is going to be able to swing the fight.
Jinmu trying desperately to get the pulse, but Leave dealt with. Pineapple finds that elimination. They jump into the back line. They're trying to get rid of Shy. The point is contested. They're starting to tick up. Gaga antied out, low HP, finished off. Now Nisha gone as well. With the cap coming through, it seems like the Hangzhou Spark not done yet. Shy scooping 3 kills in the back end. In the meantime, Pineapple's just holding the line, making sure that they do not lose this off of C9.
And you have to now consider, okay, what is the final contest from Hunters here? They tried to shut down Shy, and Shy is a raid boss. I mean, he refused to die there. He gets a 3 to 4k, I believe. And you're right, it has to be in front of the spawn, but it has to be a situation where Gaga, just like Gushue before him, instantly is able to affect that payload. They have a nano nearly online ahead of where Teru is. That's really important. Pulse bomb for Pulse bomb as well. And as his payload
could
gets
be
up, Gaga's got to go.
monstrous.
Gaga has to go.
It's rolling forward. Where's the touch? Gaga. He's biding his time. Takes it down to 1.36 meters before he finally touches. The nano is available from Monk.
No, it's
and
gone.
then they
It's
stepped
gone.
away from it. And then they stepped away from it.
And they had the nano as well. And they literally had the nano as well. I think maybe he got booped. Maybe he got booped. Benefit
He
of the
had to
doubt,
have.
he was the only one there. Gaga was the only one there. There's zero chance he just steps away or jumps away. I think he had to have been booped by Super Edge. It's the only thing I can say. It's the only way to explain it. Because if it's not that, then I lose my mind. I lose my mind if it's not that.
It has to be the forced error. We're going to request a replay. Hopefully we can get that. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what exactly just happened. But I agree. I think that Gaga, he does have the wherewithal. He does have the information that he needs to be able to play the cart. And we watched it. He walked away. He literally walked away.
Did he?
Never mind. Never mind. Everything out the window. All credibility gone. Shattered. Hangzhou Spark, they lead 2-0. They're one map away from advancing into the playoffs and ending the Chengdu Hunters season. They have been reverse swept before. Chengdu Hunters just pulled off a reverse sweep. Let's see if they can do it back to back to keep their season alive. That's what it takes. We'll see if they can do it when we come back from the break. And here we are, the fated moment that continues to just strike time and time again. You see Gaga, he's just chilling in a bubble.
It's just him.
He's just zapping. No one else is there. Jinmu's not nearby. I mean, you can see Jinmu's shot.
Here's the crazy part.
He leaves rail.
Can I say this? This is the craziest part to me. They have nano, which means you don't have to kite. You can literally just sit on the payload because you know no matter what happens, your risk of death is like next to zero because you know you have nano. Therefore, there is no reason to kite. There is no reason to run backwards. Nothing. Just literally sit on the payload and receive the nano and fight. That's it. That's it. That's the tweet.
We tried to think of the possibilities. I was like, yeah, it could have been a shield bash. It could have been a whip shot. Maybe he got whip shot and then slept, and then he couldn't recontest it. No.
They just, in the words of Josh Sideshow Wilkinson, they just didn't touch. They just didn't touch.
Time is a flat circle. It all comes back around to Chengdu Hunters. It's got to be something at this point at the molecular level that just causes this to happen, because it's just time and time again.
I'm gonna say this. Look, you need to check Gaga's PayPal account. You need to check if he's on the Changun payroll. You need to get ESIC involved right now because I smell something fishy here. I smell something real fishy. I don't like it. So it's two series in a row. Map 1 and Map 2, two matches in a row now. Back-to-back 4 C9s total. Map 1 and Map 2 versus Charge. Map 1, Map 2 versus Hangzhou. And now Chengdu have to reverse sweep again.
See, it can't even be that. We don't even have to launch an investigation, because oftentimes when you get those DMs slid through with a little bit of cash under it, it also says make it look convincing, which it did. This was just Gaga with his finger on the S key a little bit too long. A huge mistake. But you know what?
Oh, man.
Who cares? Moving on. We're moving on. We're going to go into map number 3. Hangzhou Spark are looking to close this out. This is, again, familiar territory for the Chengdu Hunters, who just did pull off a reverse sweep over the Guangzhou Charge. So we'll see if they can do it once more. And what a story that would be, because they did also C9 multiple times in those first two maps versus Guangzhou. So can they just go ahead and close it out? We'll see. It's
I got
going to be
another
Dorado
story
again.
for you. What if Spark just win 3-0? How mad would you be if you were a Charge fan? How mad would you be if you're watching this and Spark just 3-0 the Hunters off of 2 C9s, maybe even 3? The night's young. We could get more.
I can't adequately and accurately answer your question because it's not broadcast friendly, but I will say I would be livid. It would not be a good feeling.
Livid. Charge fans absolutely livid. They're watching this right now.
Yeah. Hair would be pulled out.
I got another one. I got
desks
another
would
story
be
for
smashed.
you. How about this? Chengdu C9 on purpose so that they can guarantee a map pick on Dorado. Boom. Done. How about that?
Uh-huh.
That's the only way. It's the only way you guarantee a map pick on Dorado.
But you're also playing against Guxue. So, you're not really putting yourself in that much of an advantageous position, I feel, compared to when they played versus the Charge.
They predicted that Changun would put Burner in, and now that Changun hasn't put Burner in, Hunter's like, damn it, our strategy doesn't work now.
The plan has fallen apart. I can't believe that Changun did the right thing. Well, Jinmu going to be slept, and he's going to die.
Shy opening frag, it's normal.
Yeah, granted that one handed to him on a silver platter by Teru. Either way, it's a great catch. Pineapple in the meantime, just sitting up above, harassing where possible. He's just about to be halfway to that pulse bomb. Leave trying to get his off the ground.
Well, payload movement is slow but steady. Let's see what Jinmu can do in terms of setting up this dive. Now, previously versus the Charge, they set up dives quite effectively, double backline kills. You see here, though, Gaga got slept. As soon as Jinmu got the hack done, Gaga got slept, couldn't dive in.
And Gaga tries to go for the play. Says, you got the hack, I'm coming! And then just immediately dies. Shut out. Right now,
Look at Guxue's ult charge, by the way.
On this cart. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You might go to Toronto, but you're playing against Gushway. He got his warm-up game in Pet ISO, and now he's jazzed up and ready to just go ahead and pound.
Oh my god. He's got triple the ult charge of Gaga. That's incredible. Monk
And
does
Monk's
have
got
the
a
nano
available. He's going to use it just in case he dies. Throws it over to Gaga. Gaga's just getting kind of turned around, trying to identify where he needs to be. There's going to be a sleep dart as he leaps up onto the high ground. And because he doesn't have a primal, he's still going to be at risk. Looks like he will manage to make it out in safety. Gushway in the meantime, he's deep into the back lines. He's keeping people locked inside of the spawn room doors. Jumps up onto the high ground right as the primal expires. And the cart has not really budged.
Yeah, it's definitely been, it had some early movement, but now it's been stationary for a long time. Credit Pineapple for mainly keeping that one under lock.
And Gushway just kills both
cancelled
supports.
rally. Okay. That rally's gone.
Gushway is just unleashed right now. Half the time bank going to be drained.
Nisha didn't even get to finish the alt line. You know, the when you announce that you rallied, the voice line didn't even finish. He's just gone. So, as you said, more than half the time is gone. The payload's sliding backwards now. Gushway's playing the game of his life. And Hunters are struggling to get these dives gone.
Pineapple is continuing to play elusively. Just maintains that high ground control lead.
Death.
Okay.
That's the first spark death of the defense so far.
That it is. Pineapple damn close to joining him as well. It's tagged low. He's going to try to actually go on the offensive here despite getting absolutely wrecked. Dashes away. Keeps himself safe. Gushway finds Nisha, but it's going to be antied out and should die. And there you go. Lee finally is able to find the kill. And the cart can start moving forward for pretty much the first time now for the Chengdu Hunters. Just about have a minute remaining. Gaga going to be antied out. Rally rolling from Super Rich. Primal gets popped. He's looking for the corner juggle and Shy. Well, he rejoins the fight. He's instantly sent right back over into the spawn room. We'll have to come back out of the bank again. Sleep onto Gaga. Drains out the rest of the Primal. Pineapple goes into the back line. The pulse bomb's still going to be held. Now he lets it loose. Doesn't find a sick. Doesn't find a kill. Nisha stays alive.
Oh, good EMP.
Comes in. Gushway going to be shut down. Doesn't get the opportunity to go ahead and use the ult. Really good EMP. Very much needed for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, who seems like finally they are getting over the hump and being able to push into A. No further contest to be found, so they will go ahead and bump up to 3 minutes.
That's the extra Bionate from Monk landing onto Super Rich and Terror as well, keeping them away. No Pineapple, no Gushway means no touch. Shy's not going to be the one going in for it. Supports aren't going to go for it either. Really huge EMP. The fact that they got the kill to Gushway within the 1.75 seconds on a Winston of all players, denying the Primal from happening. If the Primal went off, very different looking defense. Terror had the Nano as well. Now we finally made it over towards B. Hunters fresh out of ultimates. A couple now charging. Sparks should be able to force the reset here. They can go in. Nano to play with. Gushway can feel really safe. Might even be Nano clock again. Shy does have that ultimate. Oh, what a
nice
save.
Nano. Yeah, Taro just playing that one out beautifully. Casual Nano over to the side. Overclock now invested. Shy looking for some targets. Bubbles denying a hell of a lot of this damage output, though. Sees lead for a brief little moment, still holds on to the full charge rail. Love to get an elimination with that, but they buy some space for themselves, but now it's going to be a dive into the back lines once more. Shy, the target of choice. Went low.
So
does
well
get
pocketed.
saved by his teammates. Yeah.
I mean, it's just been defended. His linesmen are just constantly getting in the way. Pineapple now deep. Gets Nisha down. That's a problem
And
for
with
Hunters.
Nisha gone, Gushway goes straight back in. Finds the kill, still going to be antied out, but jumps over onto the high ground, joins in, takes Gaga a bit lower, pursues a little bit more to get some extra little zappies in. Because come on, I know you got that Primal, why don't you use it?
I gotta say, Terror's been impressive. You know, in the Charge series, Monk was the one sleeping all targets, but here, every time Gaga jumps on in, Terror's got the sleep ready. Gushway, meanwhile, is having a lot more success on the back line. Hunter's now running out of time once more. That extra 230 they bought for themselves is currently being dripped down. This Nano has to work.
Oh, Terror, he's got a Nano to Winston in his face, and he just casually turns to the side and says, oh yeah, let me help you kill Jinmu real quick.
Yeah, Terror's been
Finishes
so
him
good.
off. Super Rich is getting juggled all the way into the back line of the Chengdu Hunters. Now is going to be antied out. Shield does get raised. So he tries to keep himself alive, but just going to get shield bashed straight into the wall, breaking his neck. Monk does find the finishing blow, but 57 seconds now remaining. A couple extra kills are found for the Chengdu Hunters finally. Getting the cart moving, getting ready to start rounding that final corner.
Okay, look at this, EMP available.
The EMP is there.
Yeah, the EMP is really important here. Jinmu going to start scouting. He's going to look for positioning. He knows the back line is on that opposite high ground. He's already in position now. And there it is.
And there it
Great
is.
jump in from Gaga.
Yep, instantly uses it. Gaga's there to play. They find both supports plus Shy. Leave now, just looking to just beam down Gushway where possible, hold on to the ult.
Should be a cap.
He can, and he does, and that'll be the cap. So just shy of 2 minutes now. We're at 50 here for Chengdu Hunters in the final stretch. It's looking like if they're going to be able to get this finish, it's going to have to be in overtime. It is. They're looking for some extra staggers, and they're going to get all of them. Again, it's the same 3 getting taken down right as they respawn. Bridge, Teru, and Shy all eliminated.
And you got to be careful here because this is very much like Paraíso, right? Where you have a situation where Spark don't get a full reset, and so they don't get to fight. Here, because the payload's really far away, they are going to get that reset going for them. But bit of a scary moment where you consider it's basically like, what, 8 kills, considering they lost a fight, lost 5, 3 more extra die. Respawners. EMP connects perfectly. That's one way to stop Gaga from getting slipped. You just EMP Teru.
And it goes out. It's overclock once more. It's going to be Monk taken down by Pineapple. Jinmu will find Teru to answer back a kill, but Pineapple scoops 2. The overclock, not going to be the most value in the world, but it still helps them buy enough space, keeps everybody scrambling, as Pineapple will get a late kill on the leave, and that's crucial.
I mean, whether Shy gets the kills or not, Spark win the fight, right? That's the important thing. You spend 2 ultimates there. The end result is the same whether Shy gets the kills or somebody else gets the kills. And now, listen, about 40 seconds remaining here. Hunter's building a final EMP. A final position to play through. Nano into Primal is how they can extend this fight. And if they cap, it's going to have to be in the OT here. Payload positioning is not amazing. Could be a secondary fight here. Hunters might have to win 2 to get the cap.
Gaga getting tagged up. Does hold on to that Primal Rage. She's going to go jumping into the back line, but so is Pineapple. Stick onto the shield, and that's going to be Nisha taken down. Gushway now primaled up as well. And there's the cleanup. The support's now gone. Jinmu and Leave. Going to have to try to fight this one out, but Jinmu has to translocate away. He's been spotted by the bank.
He can't do it.
And the car is just got to be touched. It's got to be Leave. He's around the corner. They spot him out. They know where he is. They reroute him. He manages to get the touch. Retreats. Gets the OT. Forced for the squad. Nano, EMP at the ready. EMP comes out. Riley's rolling. Super Rich a little bit ahead of the curve on that regard. And that gets the whip shot out to go ahead and punish Leave. Taking him down. The green HP helping to keep everybody sustained as best as possible. Gushway tagged up low. Gaga rejoins on the Doomfist. Nano still at the ready from Monk. Shy. Anti somehow. No one killing him off.
Super Rich well, look at the HP, but they were so low. Super Rich again on 1 HP, but doesn't die. Gushway slept, hacked, still alive, refuses to go down.
But they have gotten everybody back over to the card, so there's definitely a potential here for the Chengdu Hunters, but they need to play this out perfectly. Pulse Bomb, stick goes in, Nisha gonna be taken down, and that might just be the hopes here, finishing the map completely snuffed out. Pineapple finds his second, gets both of the supports, and now Gaga is going to fall. The overclock here at the end from Shy will go ahead and find Leave. Just stop, make sure they can't extend this any further. Puts an end to the shenanigans, and the cart will rest just at the second to last corner there ahead of point C. So Hangzhou Spark once more a very real win condition for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at Pineapple's pressure there as well. He had complete control in that backline, running after Monk and Nisha. How many sticks onto Nisha have we seen so far? 2 in a row from my POV. Really just destroys Nisha's ability to play this game and stay in. And it's all on the back of Monk as the solo here to try and keep players alive. Gaga's forced to be on a Doom just to get a final contest in there. Jinmu's EMP, not ideal. They never got to set up that final plan. This is the crux of the moment for the Chengdu Hunters, where they have one good shot left to make an attempt going, but they have to land this EMP perfectly, as they did when they're capping B. That moment never happened. Jinmu got revealed. He got pushed away. Gaga dead. Chengdu Hunters. Leave had to touch. At least Leave lived for a while. He still died. Still was a 4v5. The EMP was, I guess, just for show at the end of the day. They couldn't use it as a real win condition. Jinmu just pulls the trigger. No follow-up. Gaga wasn't there. Leave was dead. So the Hangzhou Spark, I think, destined to be able to get the hold here. Hold it on that final C contest. Some stuff went wrong for Hangzhou on A in terms of just kind of getting momentum snowball by Hunters after they finally won a fight. But beyond that, it is mostly Spark just winning the day.
Oh.
He didn't want to get out of bed today.
No, clearly not. He did look a little bit sleepy at the beginning of the last map, but certainly is woken up now. See how long Chengdu can try to hold them in this position. Similar positioning from Leave and Gaga up onto the high ground. Gaga now just keeps the cart contested. Pineapple harassing from the flank, has to use the recall, keep himself alive. Anti shucked in, just only going to find Super Rich so far.
Yeah, there's no real attempt here to, I don't know, Jinmu needs to link up with a hack or something, because Chengdu are very patiently waiting for a position to actually dive in. Gaga and Leave just kind of playing extremities.
Leave.
Gaga as well, putting his life on the line to stall the payload. You talked about Leave there, he takes so much damage. He's going to have to go health pack hunting, so he's out of the fight.
Gaga just eating some of this damage from behind. Teru just spamming into him. Nisha taken out. Pineapple finds an opener, and then Monk goes down. Guchwei stomp. The support's now dead. Gaga finished off as well, and Liam, I thought, maybe he was going to look to commit the pulse bomb to this fight, but with Gaga falling first, he decides to hold on to it, which is in all likelihood the wiser move. Pineapple as well, just spy checking Jinmu by running into his face. Spots out the Sombra, and has the read. Knows that he's going to be inside room.
There's not going to be time for this EMP, I think.
More.
Hunters have one contest here, and Teru and Super Rich have the ultimates first. Pineapple can also shut down this rotation. I mean, he's on the back line already.
He gets
one
him.
stick. That is so good. He is so
now
brilliant on these sticks.
Yeah, it's looking great here from Pineapple. I mean, he made his, kind of re-debut, I guess, just last week. We weren't sure how he was going to look, and he was absolutely phenomenal. The follow-up series, not so much. The whole team very much struggled, but Hangzhou Sparks are very much firing on all cylinders right now.
I tell you this as well. Remember the storyline that we had when Charge played Chengdu a little bit earlier, and that was on Dorado as well, so I like the one-to-one comparison. It was the Charge back line of Xerneas and Farway completely getting deleted by the Gushwei, so the Gaga Leave Jinmu dive combo. Now it's like the complete opposite. Chengdu are the ones that cannot land on Super Rich and Teru. They cannot link up these dives. Super Rich and Teru don't seem to be killable. Teru's been playing out of his mind today, whereas on the other hand, Pineapple and Gushwei have been dominating the Chengdu Hunters backline.
Okay, there's the EMP. The rally's going to come out from Super Rich, but Teru still going to fall. Shy taken down moments before that. And they just all corralling around the Brigida, really trying to get this additional stagger, and there's just nowhere really for Super Rich to go, so he does end up dying. So they play well into the back behind the spawn, actually. Good stagger kills here from the side of Chengdu Hunters. This is exactly what they need to try to chew up this time bank. Gushwei, in the meantime, has actually committed the primal off screen. Pineapple going to be taken down, and there's still a very real hope that Chengdu Hunters maintain control of this. The rally just now expires. They have a good amount of HP, and Gaga gets Super Rich. They're going to hold.
Yeah, I mean, Gushwei was just kind of sliding on the rooftops. He gets taken down by Nisha here off the back of a hack from Jinmu as well, with Shy falling with a nice snipe from Gaga. Hunters have got control on spawn. They're actually spawn capping the Spark at the moment. I don't think they can hold this forever, because you have Leaf going down. They drop members.
They know where Jinmu's at, but they force the translocate.
That was a good EMP from Jinmu to start that out. I gotta say, the EMP was the impetus to have all of this begin for the Hunters. And now the Nano to follow through.
Nano the Gaga, they're looking for a hell of a lot more now. Piling in, looking for Shy again. We'll go ahead and get the sleep, get the anti. Gaga this time has overstepped. There's no one there to try to save him. Anti does connect onto both of the supports. The covering fire looking decent, though, from the Hangzhou Spark as the nades come in and Gushwei comes to the rescue. They clean up Monk. Nisha now going to get dropped as well. Couldn't escape, but a good amount of time bought by the Hangzhou Spark. Or by the Chengdu Hunters against the Hangzhou Spark. 2 minutes 22 right now as they finally get to the halfway point of this push.
When you can actually spawn camp the attacking team, that's always going to be a good sign. However, time is not on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Hangzhou Spark just need to finish the map, and they're good to go in the payload position. Despite all of that, it's pretty reasonable. EMP doesn't do much.
No, it does not. They find Super Rich. I thought maybe the Nano was going to go on to him. It does not. Instead, it goes over to Shy. Doesn't even pop the overclock, so still has that for a rainy day. Gushwei continues to buy space. Jumping forward here into the final section of the map. Cart being brought up now about 10 meters away. Jinmu goes for the hack. They find Shy. They're looking for the elimination. The bubble comes down as well, trying to deny any healing that they possibly can, but now the overclock is going to get popped. Jinmu narrowly manages to escape. Gaga tries to jump out, but Shy is quick to reply. The rail goes across. He's just pumping damage into them right now. Monk taken down. Slide up over the top. The headshot comes through. Nisha dead. The rally canceled. Leave now finished off by the shield bash. And it's going to be just shy of 3 minutes. And they don't even have to finish the map.
And a late kill here as well, so a little free push coming on through. Like I said, don't have to finish the map. Pink box of victory there, very close by. I mean, they don't have to do too much here to finish, get the 3-0. And we saw the Hunters get a reverse sweep versus the Guangzhou Charge. This is just such a different game. Spark are the ones that are currently controlling the game right now. They don't look like they're about to lose. Shy has been phenomenal here. They have the frontline control. They don't have ultimates. Hunters can definitely win this fight off their ultimates, but Spark have a lot of time to play through.
Pulse Bomb not going to find the stick. Could have been a massive turning point here. Leaf could have gotten an elimination off of that one. That's going to be the problem from Gaga. Just scattering the Hangzhou Spark members to the wind. Pulse Bomb out from Pineapple as well. Not going to get a connection. Super Bird's taken down now. Shy and Teru all do fall. Gushue is only able to answer one back. Then elimination onto Nisha. So for now, the space and the time will be bought by Chengdu.
I need to do that about 2 to 3 more times as well. It's 2 minutes left for Hangzhou Spark. A couple of final contests. EMP plus Nano for the next fight. Ideally, they just use the EMP to win it. So there is a pathway. There is a window of opportunity for the Hunters to still maybe take away this map. Take us to a map 4. Get that reverse sweep magic back again. Kilios, it does require them to touch the payload. So, you know, that
is exactly what I was going to say. We are aligned in the win conditions for Chengdu. Leaf are now taking it into his own hands to make sure that the cart is contested. Dash into the back. There's the EMP shot. Instantly hits the floor. Anti does go out to the Gaga, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find a punish. The sleep goes across, but he's instantly woken up. Gushue is well going to fall asleep.
Who got the nano?
Wreaking havoc.
Who got the nano there? Was it Shy?
Sure.
Because I think Shy died so fast
Maybe.
the nano didn't connect. That's one of those rare moments where, because the nano is actually a projectile, most people don't know that. It's an extremely fast projectile, but you can kill the target before the nano lands. And I think Shy died before the nano landed.
Okay, Pineapple threatening it. Saying, come on, Chengdu, do what you do best. Don't touch the cart. They do realize what's happening rather swiftly. Pulse Bomb not going to hit. Nano out from Monk. This goes over to Jinmu. It's onto the Sombra. There's another Pulse Bomb stick onto the shield, but this time it's not going to be able to find the kill. Nisha stays alive. 86% shy of the rally, but Pineapple finishes him off. Leave out of the fight. Monk getting cleaved down lower and lower, and Teru finishes him with the anti-nade.
Should be the
That'll
cap.
be the cleanup, and that will be the finish. They make a good show of it here to the Chengdu Hunters, but they cannot stave off the Hangzhou Spark. They will not be denied. It is a 3-0 for them. They keep their season alive. They're moving forward into the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to see Hangzhou Spark in LA, the full team, all members. How many is it? Like 12? Giant coaching staff. Mira is going to be there as well. They took some very late season gambles. Alfie in the camp coming through. Pineapple giving the respect over. And this is one of those situations where Spark, again, the second half of their season, during Summer Showdown, Countdown Cup, it's been pretty atrocious. To be clear, they only won 2 matches this entire second half of the season. Out of their 11 wins, 9 of them came through from the first 2 stages, and now the recovery finally comes in. It just required somebody else to beat the charge. For whatever reason, in the Showdown, Spark could not do anything versus the Guangzhou charge, but with the Chengdu Hunters getting in the way, denying the charge, Spark will be able to get the 3-0 done and dusted. They, having been the team that, if you look at pure standings, have been top 4 in the Eastern Division the entire way through this year. In some ways, you got to say, the highest seeded team, the most, I guess, highest performing other APAC team, despite the losses they've had in the last 2 stages. If there is a road to recovery where they can get back into that kickoff clash or mid-season Madness form, you probably do want to see the Spark. The big question is, as we move forward, can they play to the heights they've played before, moving into LA, moving to the playoffs?
I mean, we'll have to just wait and see, because there is one very exploitable weakness that the Spark still suffer from, which is kind of coinciding with our player of the match, which is kill Shy, because when we saw Shy getting picked off time and time again, that's when Chengdu Hunters were pulling off the spawn camp, were really staving them off on that attack towards point C. Shy, as mentioned, is going to be our player of the match, and he had, while he was getting punished a bit there on Dorado, he still had some amazing moments this whole series throughout, granted just 3 maps of it. But he just continues to show that he needs to be respected. He needs to be the focus fire target if you're going up against the Hangzhou Spark, because when he's piloting this Sojourn, he is so deadly.
And I got to say as well, in terms of keeping players alive, in terms of being able to protect your key players in this matchup, Teru did a phenomenal job today. Shy, I think, was easily the star of the show. I mean, what he was doing across these 3 maps, especially in the Paraíso, I think he had 2 4K runs. It's dominant. I mean, this is classic Shy. This is the Shy that we remember from Mid-Season Madness. It dominated back in that meta as well. And now 2 stages later, despite the difficulties, I think Shy had been still a standout for the team, even when Spark were losing. but they have more options on the backline now. They've reintroduced Super Rich back in the lineup. Now we've had different combinations. We've had yeah, it's a good one. We've had Neko and Teru together. We've had Irony plus Teru together for the double flex support, and now we got Super Rich and Teru. And I think Teru might actually be the better option compared to Irony. And to back up Shy, you need the best lineup you can get. And between Burner and Gooseray, just respecting the fact that they can still play the Winston. Now, I don't know if they can keep playing the Winston versus the NA teams as well. It's probably fine versus Gaga, considering both teams just stay on the Winston. It's just like you shake hands, we play the Winston duel, it is what it is. I think Spark have the firepower. I mean, this is the kind of thing where the hopium is you look at the strengths of the Spark and you hope that comes back to them as we move to playoffs, because otherwise you are still a little bit scared and concerned about their overall performance over the last two stages. But the hope is there.
Yeah. It certainly is. And there's never been a question or a doubt about the ability of these players, because we know individually how good they are. It's just so many times, outside of the start of the season, that the cohesion has looked like it's completely fallen apart, that the comms have broken down, that they're not really able to keep Shy protected, and that's where things have really unraveled for them. But this matchup right here, definitely reinstilling a bit of hope. That could be a very dangerous thing, though, hope. But we'll have to just keep our eyes trained on the Hangzhou Spark and see how they do perform as they get ready to go over to America and compete in the playoffs. So a huge congratulations to them. Another big thank you to all of the teams, because now we have actually the bottom three ended up getting eliminated, which I guess is kind of par for the course here. But a big thank you to the Valiant, for the Guangzhou Charge, and the Chengdu Hunters for putting on incredible performances and entertaining the hell out of us. Even though there are some oopsies, there's some moments of not touching the card from all of those teams. It was still wonderful to watch the whole season throughout. And again, I'm really happy to see the perseverance from all of the teams. No one giving up faith that they can make a run into the play-ins. Yeah. Everybody fighting tooth and nail here in this final meta that has just been so back and forth, so very even pretty much between all of the squads. But it's just been wonderful to be able to bring you guys APAC.
Yeah, and thank you for watching APAC. If you've been staying up late, thank you. If you've been waking up early, thank you. This is the final APAC broadcast of the year. Shout-outs to some of the other guys who have been in APAC. Vicky, Trid, Lemon, Kiwi, and Leg Day have also been on this broadcast. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. Hirix as well, who filled in for a day. APAC has been lovely this year. You guys have been a great audience, and we'll catch you for some more APAC next year. Thank you.
That we will, but you know who to cheer for when it comes down to the playoffs. All of our four representatives over there. Make sure you go ahead, root for them in the chat when the playoffs do kick off. I know that I'm going to be doing just that. It's going to be exciting times to see who will be crowned the champion this year around. Will Dynasty finally make it happen? Can Shanghai Dragons be able to pick up another one for themselves, or will teams like the San Francisco Shock or maybe the Gladiators also get a crack at it? I don't know. All I know is that right now the playing field looks a hell of a lot more even than it ever has. So this one, very much a toss-up as far as who is going to be able to take it. It's all going to come down to performances on the day. But to echo Avril once more, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a wonderful season to bring you guys the action. We love you all. And yeah, until next time, good night.